Show. It is Week 4 edition. I am your host, Blake Walker. We have a packed show for you this evening before we get you headed to our games of the week here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. We got highlights of last week's 3 games that we covered. We have your top 10 rankings of the week, and we have some of your games to watch. Don't forget your coach interviews as well. All that and more coming up on the Central Iowa Sports Network pregame show brought to you by Iowa Corn. First, we're going to hop right into some highlights.
Okay.
That way he can just chop that, so that way if we mess up highlights, he doesn't have to. Our touchdown one. How about that block on the edge? Nice touchdown. Shout out to John Sears getting all the angles for WHO TV. Urbandale goes up 7-0 early in this one. And then a little bit later, Cole Garwood. How about this sack? Dragging down Michael Provenza way back at the 5-yard line. This game was all defense. Jordan Sturdivant. How about this interception off a tip? Urbandale's defense shining early. Really nice job here. Later in the third quarter, still 7-0. Isaiah Pinks, big tackle for loss in the backfield. Both teams just all over the place here. Here's Ryan Cunenin, another big sack in the backfield on Rottenhouse. Valley trying to put up some points, and they were able to grab some points with 7.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Michael Provenza, how about the quarterback keeper right up the middle, ties the game up at 7 apiece. This one was going to get down to the wire, and it came down to a Rockney Carver field goal. How about this in overtime? Inside the 5, puts it through the uprights. Now Valley has a chance to score, tie, or take the lead. And Isaac Hoyt, one of the Urbandale corners, jumps in front of the pass and intercepts it. He goes down. They call the play dead. Urbandale stuns Valley on the road, and the Jayhawks move to 2-1 on the season. A game of the year contender in a slugfest. Urbandale 2-1 on the season. Valley falls to 1-2. Take a look at that student section. Congratulations to Urbandale on the big victory.
Okay. And then I'm going to do that.
The Elijah Porter game. This was in the first quarter, 0-0. Porter gets a screen play, makes a heck of a play upfield. And then later, Elijah Porter inside the 5, or just outside the 5, I should say, gets a nice block and scoots into the end zone for touchdown number 1 on the evening. Keep track of that because that number is going to be going up as we go. Elijah Porter quickly one of the sneaky good players we're seeing in Class 5A. Second quarter, here we go. Elijah Porter again. How about this? Wraparound touchdown on the right side. Make it 14-0 Centennial. Taking it to Waukee early. 14-3 just before halftime. Trenton Smith upfield to Chase Shuddy. Great adjustment to go get the ball. Almost fights into the goal line just inside the 5. And then you guessed it, Elijah Porter again. Nice run off to the right side here. Good snap by Trenton Smith. And Porter runs over the linebacker and scores into the end zone. He finished with 3 touchdowns total on the evening. Take a look at the replay. Boom, hard hit. Elijah Porter using his strength. In the fourth quarter, how about Trenton Smith? Really solid night at quarterback for Smith. Rolls out to his left and throws it short to Easton Miller, one of the secondary running backs. He grabs a touchdown. Ankeny Centennial cruises 31-6 over Waukee.
Very good, very nice.
Jod Davis all the way down to the 1-yard line. Dowling leading 7-3, but Jackson Smolik sneaks this one in from the 1-yard line, gives Dowling a 14-3 game. This game's looking like it's going to get out of reach. But how about Jazon Williams? Nice hole up the middle, and Williams uses his blazing speed to go 80 yards. It's a house call for the Ankeny Hawks to bring it back within 4. Heck of a touchdown run by Jazon Williams. Ankeny trying to come back into this game. We move to later in the fourth quarter. This is Cole over the middle to Jeremiah Kruger. Catches it, but fumbles it. After the catch, Dowling hops on top of it in a huge momentum buster for the Hawks. Dowling gets a huge turnover. Dowling then will march back down the field late in the fourth quarter trying to pull away with this thing. This is Jackson Smolik, the Penn State recruit, tossing it up to Cooper Nicholson. Heck of a grab, heck of an adjustment inside the 5. Nicholson makes a heck of a play. Dowling cannot score, though. And with 4:50 remaining, we go down to 3:12. This kick by Andrew Schumacher is up and good to give Dowling a 1-possession lead, 17-10. Late in the game, Ankeny, 3 seconds left. was able to spike the ball, and they got one play from the 38-yard line. J.J. Cole rolls to his right, launches downfield, and it is incomplete. Dowling takes down Ankeny. A huge win for the Maroons. They win 17-10. They move to 2-1 on the season. Cool.
You like how I made Ankeny yellow?
Courtesy of the Des Moines Register. So, coming in at the number 1 position, Southeast Polk, the Rams, 3-0. They took care of business against Waukee Northwest, 42-21. In the second position, Pleasant Valley, 3-0, beat Linmar 14-7 in overtime. Not the best win for the Spartans, but it's a win nonetheless, and they move and stay at number 2 in the polls. Dowling Catholic beat Ankeny, so the Maroons move up. 2-1 Dowling Catholic, number 3 in Class 5A. Ankeny drops to number 4, 2-1 on the season. Obviously lost to Dowling Catholic. Cedar Rapids Kennedy, a big win over number 9 ranked Cedar Rapids Washington of Class 4A, 27-6 last week. They are number 5 in Class 5A. Sioux City East is taking care of business out west. They are 3-0 on the season. They beat Lamar's, who was unbeaten at the time, 52-17. Johnston, number 7, 2-1 on the season. They beat Dallas Center Grimes 44-21 last week. Cedar Rapids Prairie, after a big upset win on the road at Cedar Falls, beat Cedar Falls. They move to the number 8 position. Welcome to the top 10, Cedar Rapids Prairie. Iowa City High jumps back into the top 10 after dropping out after their loss against Iowa City Liberty. They beat ranked Ames 55-19, an absolute beating of the Cyclones. The Hawkeyes move back into number 9, and Cedar Falls does not drop out of the top 10. They sit 10th, 2-1, lost to Cedar Rapids Prairie. West Des Moines Valley and Ames lose out after their losses to Urbandale and Iowa City High, respectively. So there are your top 10 rankings of Class 5A. We're going to take a break, and after this, we'll be back with our coach interviews. You are watching the Central Iowa Sports Network CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. All right, come back in and introduce.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
coach interviews coming up right now. Dar Danielson, our own Dar Danielson, sat down and talked with Waukee Northwest head coach Corey Kopatich about this week's big game.
Okay. And then now Johnston, 3, 2.
Joining us now is Waukee Northwest coach Corey Kopatich. And Coach, that's third of the way through the season. Let's first of all just kind of take a quick report card assessment on how things have gone so far in the first 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a real enjoyable first 3 weeks. Obviously, we're 0-3, and so it's never fun when you're sitting 0-3. We've played 3 really good opponents, and I don't think we've played up to our ability yet. So that's disappointing. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. I don't think we played particularly well, and we've played 3 good teams. So that's why we're 0-3, and but it's time to just kind of get back to work and focus on ourselves and getting better each practice.
Have you seen some adjustments and some improvement in the areas as you coach them after each game?
Yeah, I think when you play a really tough schedule like we do, with starting off with probably 3 of the top 5 teams in the state, I think you definitely have to make adjustments. You find out really quickly where your deficiencies are, and then you have to either find ways to improve that, or if it's a personnel thing, move some guys around. So we've done some things that I feel good about, and some things I think we're starting to figure out. And ultimately, we'll find out on Friday night if those things are working.
Yeah, you say you have 3 of the toughest teams you're going to play in the state, and as we know, it doesn't get a whole lot easier even in this schedule. Some teams you may think, well, maybe they aren't having as good a season, and even in your case, you can come up and be a team that can bite somebody. Let's take a look at this Johnston team. They're 2-1 after the first 3 games, and what do you see out of them that the issues that you face with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like all these, Des Moines suburban schools are all really good. I mean, they're no different than any of the other ones, whether it be Ankeny or Urbandale or Valley. I mean, they play really good defense. They've got a good young quarterback, so it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, we'll have to come. We can't come out and turn the ball over and have all these self-inflicted wounds and expect to win the game.
Now, you've been through this a little bit last year with this, and how do you keep the players going out there and saying, yeah, if we keep at it, good things are going to happen?
Well, I think it's exactly that. I mean, we were 0-3 last year and then won 5 out of our next 6. So we've been there. We've been there, done that. So that's kind of the message. That again, I think with our team right now, we really need to simplify things and just focus on one play at a time, and then the results will all work out. But we've been there before. We had the same experience last year. We started out 0-3, so this is really nothing new, and hopefully that will help us now here down the stretch.
And it's the same thing with success. It seems you get some success, whether it be a good play or a good drive, defensive stop, that all kind of builds on itself too, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing is, if we haven't made some of the play, we've had some opportunities there to make plays, and, for whatever reason, it hasn't gone our way. And a lot of that's on us. I mean, it's making sure you're doing those things during practice. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, once you get some success and the guys see that, I think that will start to build on itself.
You mentioned the tough teams. This is a tough sport. How you doing as far as health-wise through these first 3 games?
Well, I think we're doing. I mean, and that is a tough thing when that's a downside of these how they're doing the schedules now. Is it's hard to get through them healthy. And a lot of it, it's just kind of becomes luck on how healthy you are at the end of the season. But we're pretty lucky right now for the most part. We've lost maybe one kid to injury for the year, but for the most part, we're fairly healthy going into this game.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you once again joining us, and good luck against Johnston here on Friday night.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's Waukee Northwest head coach. I'm Dar Daniels.
That interview right now.
Okay, and now thank them for their time and cut to break. 3.
Joining us now is Johnston head coach Brian Woodley. And, well, Coach, off to a 2-1 start. Let's just take a quick minute here and assess that. Anything better be 3-0, but what's your assessment so far of the first third of the season here?
Well, we're kind of playing pretty decent football. Obviously, we stubbed our toe a little bit up in Cedar Falls in the Unidome. Obviously, I think we left a lot of things on the field up there that we could have did better. But the last 2 weeks, we've kind of taking a couple steps forward. Kids are getting a little bit more experience because we did start, quite a few new kids up there in the Unidome. But, we've made some changes at some positions since day one. And we're starting to click a little bit on offense. Defense has been pretty solid for all 3 games. So, and the special teams got a pretty solid kicking game. But all 3 phases can definitely improve. We've yet to put 4 quarters together yet for any one football game.
Yeah, you got a sophomore quarterback, and I know that's a position that always sometimes takes a little time, or sometimes they jump right in there and they don't know what they don't know. They take over, but it sounds like he's done fairly well to start the season too, huh?
Yeah, I feel really fortunate. We've got a couple good quarterbacks. Adrian Brodus started for us. He did some good things. It was just unfortunate some kids didn't make some plays around him. We were kind of, game 1 against Cedar Falls, we had some drops, and that kind of carried over into a little bit of game 2 against Urbandale. But at the end of the day, we still hadn't scored any points. So, I just tried something different, see if there was a spark, anything that can kind of get us going. And, Will Nuss stepped in that second half of the Urbandale game and did a very nice job. So he started last week and had a pretty good game. So, but I feel very lucky that we have capable quarterbacks with each guy that can do some different things.
Well, and you always need depth, and that brings me to my next question: is how you guys sitting here, physically after the first 3 games?
Well, we lost a starting offensive lineman up in Cedar Falls week 1, our starting right guard. We also lost our starting corner in Owen Helgeson with a shoulder injury. So we're down a couple. And then other than that, it's mainly, we're just kind of dealing with some sickness right now. I don't know if it's a Johnston thing or if it's a kids thing around at every high school, because I don't know if it's allergies, but we've had a lot of kids in and out of school this week and practice on the field. So we're trying to get guys ready to play and hope we can all come together to ready to play Northwest tomorrow night.
Yeah, let's talk about Northwest. I know they haven't won yet, but they're a tough team, and that can kind of, you look at their record and that can kind of fool you a little bit, can't it?
Well, that's the first thing I reminded our kids on Sunday. They're definitely the best 0-3 team in the state. They have played the number 1 team in Southeast Polk. They played the number 2 team in Dowling. And when they played Valley week 1, Valley was ranked in the top 10. So they've lost to 3 great programs. They were in the same boat last year when we played them, and we were 2-1, and they came over to our place and handed it to us. So we have we made it an emphasis. We're worried about ourselves, but throw the record away because they're a darn good football team.
So what are the keys you think you have to do to win this ball game then?
Score points early. We struggled weeks 1 and 2 to score early. Last week we came out against DCG, and I can't remember the exact number, maybe 27 points in the first quarter, maybe 34. We were up 34-7 at that, so I think it was 27, but we got them down early. So as we go to Northwest, our offense hopefully can click, find the end zone, and give our defense the lead, because I feel good about what we're doing defensively, that they've done it consistently for 3 games. They make it hard on the opponents to score. So win the battlefield position and score points early and take care of the ball.
All righty, Coach. We appreciate you joining us here for a little bit on the pregame show, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
That's Brian Woodley, the head coach at Johnston, here on CISN.TV.
Then when we wish them the best of luck tonight. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap everything up. You are watching the Central Iowa Sports Network CISN Football Pregame Show, Week 4 edition, brought to you by Iowa Corn. All right, then we'll welcome back and talk about our games.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We are
so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
we are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors, stewards of your dollars and savings. Yes, we
We are so much more.
we are the energy,
Behind your everyday.
and we are
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Walker. We're going to wrap everything up here. We're going to go through our Week 4 schedule, some of the games to keep an eye of throughout Central Iowa. Looking at our 6 games that we have this week, we'll start with the first 3 that will be on the Central Iowa Sports Network this evening across 3 YouTube videos. Waukee Northwest takes on Johnston. The Dragons trying to continue that big win, off that big win against Urbandale. Northwest trying to get things put together this season. Big game at Waukee Northwest tonight. Should be an interesting game to watch. Cedar Falls, number 10 Cedar Falls, goes to Ankeny Centennial, Ankeny Stadium to take on the Jags. The Jags are one of the best 1 and 2 teams in the state of Iowa, and they looked very impressive with Elijah Porter and company in their win against Waukee. Cedar Falls could be on upset alert for the 2nd straight week. That will be a good game to watch. Probably the biggest one everybody's going to be keeping an eye on, Dowling versus Iowa City High. That is going to be a fun one to watch. I'm excited to see how Iowa City High, can they come back and repeat what they did last season. That is going to be a big one to watch. Dowling and Iowa City High on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Urbandale and Roosevelt, the Jayhawks, trying to continue the success over Valley last week. The Rough Riders can be a tough team to play. Can Urbandale get the win over a tough Roosevelt team? Waukee and Valley, 2 teams just trying to recover and trying to get big wins on their season. Should be a great game. Waukee and Valley trying to get things back underway. Davenport West taking on Davenport Central. How about Davenport West? 3-0 for the first time in a long time. Trying to move to 4-0 on the season over the Devils of Davenport Central. And then the other big game that everyone's talking about. Ankeny takes on Southeast Polk. A rematch of last year's title game. A rematch of the last 2 title games. Southeast Polk has won 1 out of the last 2 matchups. Ankeny won the regular season matchup last year. Those are going to be the big games to watch tonight in Class 5A. Almost just completely forgot to write down Ankeny and Southeast Polk. I'm like, we are missing Walker. Again, thank you everyone for watching. We are going to send it to Waukee Northwest High School, where Tyler French and company have the call. It is Waukee Northwest versus the Johnston Dragons. Again, thank you everyone for watching, and enjoy the game. And then who's that? So, Dowling, Iowa City High, who should I say?
on CISN TV. A quick overview of both these teams. Tyler, we talked about it, and now it's getting important. We're deep into the season, up into the done, and of course thinking about the playoffs for Waukee Northwest. It's time now to start to pick up win column, but not just getting playoffs, but just for the mental health of the young guys. Getting that first victory, figuring out a way. You're taking a team that maybe are on a little more even plane tonight in the Dragons.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, the gauntlet that this team has to go through. Their first 2 years having to start with Dowling, Valley, Southeast Polk. And Southeast Polk, even after graduating, people like Xavier Nwangpa and Jackson Daly, still a very gifted team. And we saw that last week against Northwest. One of the big struggles for Northwest has been trying to move the football. This defense has a lot of talent on it, led by Chase Lamb, Eli Moses, and Harry Linen, among a host of other strong defenders. But the offense has really struggled. We saw a great first half from Brady Grisham against Valley in Week 1. Since then, teams have been keying in on him, and they have the football.
So Waukee Northwest 0-3 on the season. Johnston, we talked about Will Nuss, what he's done at the quarterback position, but he's not alone. Blake Tubbs is their workhorse running back. He's been a starter since his sophomore campaign, and they got some big plays, some big change to this offense. Some of the deep threats that they have. You take a look at the numbers. Jacob Simpson, a huge receiver, 6'5", 220. He's got 9 catches, got 141 yards, over 15 yards per catch. How about Rex Woodley? 38 yards per catch on 7 receptions, 270 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Even Tatum Fox, 6 grabs, 66 yards, and a couple of touchdowns for him. A lot of big play receivers out there for this Johnston team, and after the loss to Cedar Falls falling 14-0, they have really started to turn things around. Coach Woodley's teams, in the past, it's always about that physicality, but maybe the Dragons a little more wiggle this year than we're used to.
Yeah, and they are really going to test the secondary for Northwest. They've had some strong play here and there, but overall this is still a really young defensive backfield. And when Will Nuss has been able to perform like he has against some tough competition and have these two guys over the top, it is going to be an interesting fight in the air tonight. And Tubbs, he is been carrying the load on the offensive side, but he hasn't had the big production that we're used to from him, and I think he might find a little bit of struggle against this front seven, and that is where I think that passing game is going to come into play.
Should be a good one here tonight. Johnston 2-1, Waukee Northwest 0-3. Let's take a look at our officiating crew here this evening. The referee is Brad Bunting, umpire Jason Higgins. The linesman is Gabe Capps of Indian. The line judge and your back judge from Prairie City is Brent Fridley. Your officiating crew here as we get ready for high school football. Well, Tyler, it's my second time out here. I was out here for game 1 a year ago against the Valley Tigers. Things were not completely set up at that time. Still some last-minute preparations they were still going through with Jim Dewey, the athletic director. But boy, being out here tonight, just an incredible environment for our, obviously, people watching on CISN TV and painting the picture on the radio side of things. Just an unbelievable complex. Fun place to be able to call games.
Oh, yeah, this has been a really great facility that Northwest has built. And, it saw some great moments here in their first season, going 5-4, making the playoffs. And, it's been a rough struggle for them to open up this year, but always a great place to come out and play and be able to have your friends and family come out and support you as well.
Going to be a good crowd here on hand tonight. Perfect night for football. Our game time temperature here this evening in Waukee is a robust 74 degrees. Slight breeze, and it was crazy last week. Beautiful day. It was hot. All of a sudden the winds picked up. I was up in Ankeny, and it was incredible just how different the feeling of that football game became. The winds came in and really changed things. We do have a breeze coming in here from the right side of the field as you watch it on the monitor here tonight, coming out of the south, going basically straight across the field. But you kind of have that Bolden end zone down there. You have the building back there. The wind's still going to be coming in a little bit, but since it's kind of sunken in, I wonder, have you been here for windy games? Does the wind make much impact just the way that this field is built?
So we haven't really seen it in football games because it's been, fairly moderate weather that we've had over the first season plus here at Northwest Stadium. Soccer was where it was a big thing. The same night that the not derecho level winds, but pretty high level winds. We saw the goalposts shaking back and forth. And overall, the wind was a big factor. I believe that was a girls' game that night. And that was the same night, I believe, the Dowling goalie was able to drop kick one across the field and get the game-winning goal in double overtime.
I remember seeing the highlight of that one. Absolutely incredible. Well, we'll see how that one plays out here tonight as people are filling in and getting ready for kickoff. Waukee Northwest facing off against Johnston, our Central Iowa game of the week. A couple other big ones also happening tonight, including Iowa City High a year ago. They pulled the upset, heard across the state as they playing Catholic. Now the Maroons get the return trip as they make their way to West Des Moines over at Valley Stadium. You can also catch that game on CISN TV. That should be a real fun one. Mitch Moore brings his squad over. They made a run to the semifinals in the Unidome a season ago, and though they took an early loss to Iowa City Liberty, a lot of expectations for that City High squad. Dowling Catholic, after falling in week one, they bounced back and had a huge victory last week against Ankeny.
Jackson Smolik has been a player for them. Great to see him healthy, and excited to see what he's going to have coming to the Nittany Lions a year from now when he heads over to Penn State. But right now, his focus is on getting Dowling back to the promised land. You know, not necessarily a down couple of years from them, but when you win 8 straight state titles, you know, there's a lot of expectations. And I'm excited to see what the Maroons are going to be able to put forth. And, you know, they got their work cut out for them with teams like Ankeny and Southeast Polk here in the region as well.
Other game tonight on CISN TV at Cedar Falls, making their way to Ankeny to take on the Jaguars. Jags trying to find the winning ways against the Cedar Falls team that already has a win against the CIML opponent this year. Again, back in week one, that win against Johnston, and the only loss of the season for the Dragons. So Johnston has taken the field in their traveling white uniforms with the white helmets and the purple pants. A little LSU look, like the sharp look over there with the jerseys, and they got the nice numbers up on the sides there. Good looking look for Coach Woodley's squad. Waukee Northwest getting ready to take the field. Waukee Northwest in their second year of existence. I know you've had an opportunity to talk a lot with Corey Kapatich. I talked to him a lot last season, and going through this transition, both Waukee and Waukee Northwest, what they're going through. You mentioned a year ago, getting to the playoffs, an important step in year number one. That second year, though, sometimes can be even more impactful and can be a little bit more difficult in ways in year number two.
Yeah, and if you look across the board with the group, this team graduated last year. On the defensive side, you had players like Griffin Gamble and Ben Ryland, both that were top, CIML talents. Here you go, Ben. One looks across the country, and then on the offensive side, Carson Redding stepped in as a first-year starting quarterback for Northwest. Had a fantastic threat option. Graduating Hayden Huntley and Jaden Engstrom in the pass-catching unit. You had tight ends graduate. You lost. Tanner Spikesman getting injured midway through the season was a big loss for him. But overall, this was a team that kind of got decimated by the graduating senior class. And another big class this year that has a lot to play for, especially as we were getting in, like you mentioned, the later parts of the season. Excited to see what players like Cale Winter and Brady Grisham have in store for the rest of the season.
Band cheerleaders out on the field as we await Waukee Northwest to make their appearance, and here come the Wolves, looking for their first win of the season. Waukee Northwest in their home blue uniforms with the white helmets, and they are ready to go. Expectations certainly built up here in the western suburbs this season and throughout. Jim Dewey, he brought a great grouper here, and you just look at not just, of course, Corey Kapatich, but the staff that he has built. Scott Carlson, who was the head coach at Waukee High before the split. Keith Duncan, a name that Hawkeye fans will certainly remember, helping out on special teams. Scott Fangadong, Nathan Bailey. It's a lot of names there. Brett Heitland, Jeremy Holcomb, Brendan Holmes, Anthony Byer, Alec Gansky, Jason Sanders, Aaron Weiss, Ron Calvert, Tim Murphy, the coaching staff for Waukee Northwest, trying to get that first win. And a spirited week of practice is certainly something that I've heard. This Waukee Northwest team appears ready to go tonight.
Yeah, there's got to be definitely a fire under them. You get another opportunity here at home, and you got a little bit embarrassed your first 2 games here at home to open up the year. And, you're now into the second half of your home schedule, with this being your third of 5. You still have a couple opportunities with homecoming coming up in 2 weeks and then senior night, but you want to get that first win under your belt before having to worry about your last 4 games of the season.
Brady Grisham, Sam Johnson out on the field, along with big number 77, Cale Winter, the senior captains, making their way to midfield for the ceremonial coin flip, something that has also changed a couple years back as they moved, and the actual coin flip does happen about 15 minutes usually before the game. The officiating crew comes together. This is all just for the histrionics. Now everybody to get a look, but they already know what both sides are going to be, who's deferred, and who will take the opening kick as they go through the motions out there with the referee, Brad Bunting. Trent Condon alongside Tyler French here as we count down to kickoff and our Central Iowa Game of the Week. Want to say thank you to some of our great sponsors this season, including our friends at Elite Eye Care, University Avenue in Waukee, right on the Waukee-West Des Moines border. As Waukee Northwest does win the coin flip and they will defer. So Johnston, we will get to see the offense and we'll see which quarterback it will be. Will it be the sophomore Will Nuss or Adrian Brodus, the junior, who will get the start here this evening, as we'll see the offense on the field first for Johnston. Another big part in a game that we anticipate going to be a tight one here tonight is special teams, always a key component to these games. And no punt returns so far this season for Waukee Northwest. Do have a couple of good returns, including over 23 per attempt for Grant Carter. In the punting game, Tanner Philpott averaging just shy of 40 per punt for Waukee Northwest. On the other side for Johnston, Rex Woodley's got a couple of big returns this year, averaging 12.5 per punt return on the season. Tatum Fox, 29 per return in the kicking game, and Carson Hansen has done the kicking this year for them. But it'll be Waukee Northwest to kick it off. We're ready to go, Tyler.
Yeah, and got to say, Tanner Philpott has been such an underrated piece of this team. As the offense has struggled, he has done his best to try and pin the opponents deep in their own territory, and he's been an exciting player to watch, which, as much as you can say about a team's punter.
And the kickoff specialist, he has kicked it off 10 times this year, 4 touchbacks. He's got it teed up at the 40-yard line, and we're ready for high school football. Week 4 is underway. End-over-end kick floats into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback, and Johnston will start 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Yeah, this is going to be a great opening drive opportunity for this Northwest defense. With how many points they've been giving up the last couple of weeks, opportunity to try and establish yourself. That was something they did great against Valley early on, but as their offense struggled to move the ball, they got a little bit worn down as the game went on.
As we see the offense trot out onto the field, it will be Will Nuss, the sophomore. 69% completion percentage on the year, 481 yards, 6 touchdowns, against no interceptions, 3 wide receivers as he puts a man in motion. That is Woodley. And they're going to flip it out to Woodley on the first play. Wide receiver screen, makes one man miss. Not the second. Great pursuit by Waukee Northwest, and Logan Stotts on the tackle.
And that's been one of the positive things for this defense is the pursuit has been outstanding and inspired for some of these games this year, even with big deficits staring them in the face in a lot of the contests.
That's going to hurt the 38.6 yard per reception mark for Rex Woodley, just 2 on first down. 2nd down and 8, 3 receivers to the right. They're going to hand it off to Tubbs. Makes one man miss, bounces out to the left, but not much running room. And Tyler, just as you said at the get-go, this front of Waukee Northwest playing well.
Yeah, they are going to create some penetration up front, and Stotts with another great tackle coming out to take the legs out from the runner. And now we're going to see what Nuss can do here on 3rd down against a good pass rush. As Cale Winter coming in brings up a little bit more size up front to potentially clog some more lanes.
That looks like they're going to go with a 3-man front here. It'll be 3rd down and 7, a minute gone by in the opening quarter in our Central Iowa Game of the Week here on 96.9 The Bull.
And look for a guy like Kai Crofta there on that left side. He has been causing a lot of problems for offenses this year.
Back to pass, looking and setting up a screen. It's complete. 25-30, turns the corner, up the sideline, knocked out of bounds, past the 40-yard line. A 1st down completion. Great looking throw there, and it is good enough for the 1st down.
And the protection holding up there well, letting Nuss get just enough time to kind of set up that screen out in front, and Woodley able to do the rest.
1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Nice pickup there of 20 yards. Nuss looking across the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Tried to get it there to Tatum Fox, who had the last reception. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Just a little bit too much on that one. And back ready to go. It'll be 2nd and 10 for this high-powered offense from the Johnston Dragons. Made the move not too long ago, and Nuss took over the quarterback spot, and they have been very good since then. 2nd and 10, put a man in motion. Nuss from the gun. 2 receivers on each side. Tubbs with him in the backfield, looking up the seam, incomplete. Miscommunication there, trying to find his big man, Jacob Simpson. It's incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like Simpson was kind of expecting that ball to be out in front of him, with Nuss possibly expecting him to cut back towards the outside. And, miscommunication can lead to big down opportunities for a defense, and that's exactly what we have here with 3rd and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and we will go 3rd and 10 from the 43-yard line. Out of the shotgun again, 3 receivers left, 1 right for Will Nuss. Looked like the slot receiver moved, and here comes the flag. So it'll be a penalty flag, and instead of 3rd and 10, which is difficult enough, it's going to make it 3rd and 15.
Yeah, and you're going to see players like Eli Moses and Kai Crofton kind of licking their chops now to possibly come after the passer, as these two have been huge parts of what Northwest has been able to do defensively. And I'm looking for Moses, who they've been lining up at different parts of that line, D-tackle even a couple times, but he'll fluctuate tonight between the left side and right side, but lining up on the right side here to open up the contest.
3rd and 15 from the 38-yard line now for Johnston here on the road against Waukee Northwest. Nuss stands in the pocket across the middle, behind the receiver again, almost intercepted. Owen Klunder got his hand on it. Incomplete, 4th down, and back-to-back-to-back incompletions, and Johnston will have to punt it away.
Yeah, Northwest able to take advantage there with just the 3-man rush. The Johnston offensive line holding up well, but not a lot of openings against that defense as they kind of drop back into a little bit of a combo man zone look.
4th down, and here comes the punt unit for Johnston as they will punt things away. Into the wind, a good spiraling punt, high in the air, coming up, grabbing it at the 25-yard line, making 1 man miss. A second, fighting forward and knocked down at the 33-yard line. The return for Owen Klunder. Decent field position for Waukee Northwest in their opening possession.
And a little bit of a lucky break there for Northwest, as that ball did look like it came out at the end, but Klunder able to get right back on top of it. Basically fall on top of it. But now it's going to be an interesting opportunity for Sam Johnson. Had a brighter game last week, but he has really struggled early on in games, with most of those yards coming late in contests when the score was out of reach.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line for Waukee Northwest, their first possession with 10:15 to play in the first quarter. From the pistol, they'll set up a run for Johnson. Looks to the right, slides forward and picks up a couple. He got 3 on the play. Nice hard run there for Johnson on 1st down.
And Johnson, a little bit of a bigger guy, standing around 6 foot. He looks a lot smaller out there compared to some of these big guys on the offensive line. But great footwork for him on that play, able to see the pressure come from the right side and able to kind of nimbly move back up to the middle to gain a couple extra yards.
2nd down and 7 from the 36-yard line, again working out of the gun. And he's going to roll out to his left. Looking, now going to tuck it and run out past the 40-yard line. Going to be shy of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and short. But again, Johnson using that great athleticism and picks up 4.
And that's really when Sam Johnson's at his best, when they're able to get him outside a little bit. Not much of a pocket passer, but is someone who can really step up and, move to the outside, extend a play, and even take off and run like we've seen these first 2 opportunities.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the pistol. Set up another run for Johnson. Cuts back, got a 1st down and more to the 50, the 40, 1 man to beat, 20. Cuts back at the 15. He is in. Touchdown! Waukee Northwest, a 59-yard scamper by Sam Johnson. The Wolves take the lead.
And that was probably the best read we've seen Johnson make all season, and a great play in the open field to get those last 15 yards.
3rd down and 2, big-time pursuit. Tyler, how about that cutback?
And that's what I just mentioned. Johnson has good vision and has great nimble feet. And, if not for the fact that they really needed a quarterback, he would be someone that would be a great player to line up at running back, as he's got a lot of the, same aspects that people see in, obviously not the same talent level, but at Lamar Jackson type player.
The extra point on its way, and that one knuckles through. 7-0. Waukee Northwest takes the lead after the PAT from Jack Gearhart as the Wolves lead at 9:03 left to play. Quick timeout. Back with more here in a moment on CISN TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Welcome back to Waukee Northwest. 7-0 Wolves with the lead after the 59-yard touchdown run from Sam Johnston. And the Wolves jump out to the lead. Another kickoff into the end zone for a touchback as Philpott 2 for 2 in touchback attempts, and it'll be Johnston back on the field for the second time.
And now the big question is, how does this offense respond? You know, we've been talking all game about Northwest struggling to move the football, but a huge play for them, and that can be a backbreaker for teams early in a game. You've got to try and find a way to bounce back, even if it's just stringing a good drive together here to open up their second opportunity.
And they'll start again from their 20-yard line. Going to start on the left hash this time. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for Will Nuss. Quick throw across the middle, again behind his receiver, incomplete. Struggled a little bit with accuracy here early on, a guy that was completing nearly 70% of his passes.
Yeah, and a lot of the time it is, might be some early game jitters, but Nuss has been third start in a row for him, and we've seen some amazing play. And I don't know what the case has been. It's been consistently behind his receivers. But like I mentioned before, Eli Moses is a guy that you're going to see move around the defense, lining up on the left end position for this play.
As they set up a wide receiver again, screen again, but it's incomplete for the second time. That is now 5 straight incompletions from Will Nuss. Started 2 for 2, now 2 for 7. And that time trying to get it out to the wide receiver again on the screen. And those are the makeables. Those are the easy throws. Something seems a little off here early on with Nuss.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe it's a great week of practice from Brodus for Johnson, and he's feeling it kind of breathing down his neck a little bit.
They will go up the field, incomplete, taking a shot, but incomplete into double coverage, trying to find his big receiver, Jacob Simpson, at 6'5", but it's incomplete, and for the second time, it'll be the punting unit, another 3 and out, and a great defense here from Waukee Northwest.
Yeah, and that was another example with Nuss underthrowing his receiver. It was an opportunity where Simpson was able to go up and try and make a play on it, but when you've got to go back and make the catch over the defender, even if you do have that height advantage, it can be very difficult.
Unit up. Here's a line drive punt that'll hit and bounce into Waukee Northwest territory. Still rolling down past the 40-yard line. And I'll stop right there. That is where Waukee Northwest will get the ball back for the second time, leading 7-0, 8:39 to play.
And this defense has been really strong these first 2 possessions. We've seen in the first couple games at home this season where the opposing offense has been able to put together strong drives. They don't give up a lot of big plays a lot of the time. It's been strong, long, drawn-out drives. Dowling in the first drive of the game went for over half of the first quarter.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 40 for Waukee Northwest. Working out of the gun again in a handoff left side. Hit right at the line. Big stick out there from Johnston, coming up and filling from his linebacker spot. And that was Josh Kerber with a physical tackle.
Yeah, the offensive line not really able to get out, and the wide receivers out wide not able to hold blocks. Caleb James is someone I'm actually really high on, that hoping that he's going to be that next big running back for Northwest after Grisham graduates this May.
2nd down and 10, no gain on the play. They'll put a man in motion. That's Grisham. Couple of guys were moving there, and yeah, it's going to be a procedure penalty. Got a little jumpy there in kind of that H-back spot. It'll be an offensive penalty, and they'll move him back.
James got to make me look bad right after I talk good about him.
Caleb James, 6 foot, 190-pound running back, but got moving there with a man in motion. So it'll be a penalty of 5 yards and make it 2nd down and 15. You mentioned Waukee Northwest has struggled this year. That's one thing you just can't do. You can't find yourself in these second, third and long situations.
Especially with the passing game has been the major struggle for them. You know, when you've got Grisham and Johnson, you've got two guys that can run and get into open field, but the wide receivers have been a huge problem for Northwest, not able to create a lot of separation, and they've had opportunities that they have dropped easy passes. Cooper Scheifus has been one of the few guys that has really stepped up in some major moments.
They said no penalty on that one, so instead they will keep it at 2nd down and 10. So we are going to stay at the spot we started. Full house backfield, and they're going to set up a Johnson up the right side. He's got a big hole. 50, 40, still on his feet, spun down at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 30, and Sam Johnson already on his way to 100 yards and 4 carries.
Yeah, this has been a great game for Sam Johnson, as they've not been able to contain the outside, have been the second line defense for Johnston. I've really struggled to make sure they keep a QB spy in on potentially a call that we could see later in this game.
1st and 10, they mark him down at the 31-yard line of Johnston. Big pickup there from the 31-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield. They'll set up an option play. Johnson's going to keep it himself, and he is ripped down, but not after he picks up another 6 yards on the carry. Sam Johnson showing that physicality too.
Yeah, I think Johnson has a lot of confidence coming into today's game, and I think that touchdown run was a huge boost to it as well. After a little bit of struggles the first couple of weeks, had a little bit of a bounce back game in last week's contest against Southeast Polk late in the game, but in this one, you can see him running with a full head of steam that we haven't seen earlier this year.
Just inside of 7 minutes to play, opening quarter. Waukee Northwest now looking to throw for the first time. Johnson rolling out to his left, got a man out there. Ball complete. No, it popped out of his hands, incomplete. And a good look up the sidelines, but not able to haul it in, incomplete.
Yeah, and it was tough to kind of see if the fault kind of fell on Johnson there, or if Scheifus is unable to bring it in. Scheifus had some amazing catches this year, including a diving catch in the game against Dowling for the lone touchdown in the passing game.
6:48 to play first quarter. Waukee Northwest a 7-0 lead over Johnston. Trent Condon and Tyler French with you here on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN TV. Run to the right side, not much there for Grisham. Maybe got a yard, but it's going to be 4th down and 3 in decision time now for the Wolves at their 24-yard line. Be about a 41-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, usually you would want to try and take the points, but with how often this offense has struggled to get into potential scoring opportunities this close to the red zone, you're going to see him go for it here.
And they will keep the offense on the field. Before that, timeout. We'll take it with them. 6:19 to play in the first quarter. Waukee Northwest facing 4th and 3 when we come back leading 7-0. This is high school football on CISN TV and on 96.9 The Bull.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Johnson, their quarterback, with already 102 yards rushing here. It's 4th and 3. They'll work out of the pistol. Now Johnson going to come up to the line. He is going to move the fullback back behind him and go under center. I formation for the Wolves, trying to get that Johnston defense to jump. And they are not biting. Down to 8 seconds now on the play clock. And now Waukee Northwest is going to use a timeout of their own.
Yeah, it's a classic ploy you see at all levels of football. You come up, you're 4th and short. You want to try and get the defense to jump. Johnson very disciplined on that one, and I would expect Northwest after the timeout might be bringing the kicking unit out as those short down and distance situations on 4th. You might see the special teams normally come out if a timeout is required.
Jack Gearhart is 1 for 1 in field goal attempts this year. Hit a 41-yarder, has been perfect in his PAT attempts, hit his 7th of the season earlier after the opening touchdown that made it 7-0. Again, it'll be about a 41-yard field goal, also be from the right hash. Does have the breeze coming from his back, though, so distance 41 was his field goal that he hit earlier this year. Probably not a worry about distance here. It's almost kind of that right hash and the angle getting that one right.
Yeah, and a big thing, like I said, you want to take every opportunity you can to try and put points on the board when your offense has struggled this season. But I really like what we've seen from the Northwest offense so far, and Johnston's coming back out. I don't disagree with the decision here.
Johnston hasn't shown a whole lot early here, their first 2 drives offensively. And you got to be happy with your defense. Waukee Northwest going to go for it as they will put Sam Johnston in the shotgun. He's got 2 running backs with him. They spread things out. Also 3 receivers, no tight ends in the game, as they're going to swing it out to the left to Gear. And a completion to Grisham. He is going to fight, but it is going to be really close. It's going to depend on the spot. Looked like the top official maybe gave it to him. The bottom official who spots it didn't. And I think, are they going to measure this one? Brad Bunting, the referee, he's taking a look down the line. And it's going to be a stop. They don't even need to measure. The Dragons get the stop, an important one for them.
Yeah, a great undercut on the tackle by the Johnston defense, not allowing Grisham that extra burst of speed or the opportunity to kind of, lay out and get that extra yard.
Johnston with his first completion of the night, 1 of 2, but as mentioned, over 100 yards, 102 yards rushing now in just 5 attempts, had the 59-yard touchdown and a 30-yarder also that put them deep into field position against the Dragons. Now Johnston will get the football back for the 3rd time, 2 receivers right, 1 left. They'll put a man in motion coming up the left side and hand it off out to the outside of the 25, knocked out of bounds. Good physical tackle out there by Grant Mackey after the short run for Johnston's number 20, Menson Martin.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the better runs we've seen from a Johnston running back this year. As mentioned, Tubbs hasn't had quite the production that you'd expect, but Martin able to kind of provide a little bit of thunder to his lightning.
Martin averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Nuss now to throw, across the middle, crossing route complete, 1st down. Finally ended the 6th consecutive incompletion streak with that one.
And, we've seen it from Nuss tonight that when he's had time, he's been underthrowing receivers. That one got rushed a little bit, delivered a beautiful ball across the middle that was completed for the 1st.
1st and 10 to the 35-yard line on the right hash for Johnston, as they have 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Cross the middle, complete again. Near the 1st down sticks as he found that time. Tatum Fox, another reception for Fox. That one good for 10 more yards and another 1st down for Johnston. Now they're starting to field a little bit.
Yeah, and I think these nice couple of plays that you're not necessarily taking shots, but you're getting a little bit further downfield, sitting inside this zone. It's a nice adjustment on this drive from the Johnston offense.
At the 46-yard line of the Dragons, on the move, 2 first downs with 5:25 to play in the 1st quarter, leading, trailing 7-0. A fumble on the exchange goes right back into the hands of Martin, and he's able to get forward for a short gain. Nearly a disaster there on the zone read.
Yeah, Nuss reaching that ball out, didn't quite get it out far enough, but a beautiful play by Martin, able to make sure that he's able to get on top of that and avoid the turnover.
Yeah, and that was one where Martin wasn't even ready for it at all. He thought that was well past him, and he's getting ready to go out there, either run a route or set up a block. Gets it back, falls into his hands, and gets a yard out of it. Inside of 5 minutes to play, 1st quarter. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right, empty for Will Nuss. Nuss stands in the pocket, crossing route too high that time as he tried to find Tatum Fox, but he overshoots him. We do have a penalty flag back in the backfield.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to come back for holding. And Nuss on that play, a sidearm delivery was not a great throw on his part. I think he was back on the baseball field on that one.
Dropped it down just a little bit. Played 3rd base for the baseball team this year. A couple of home runs at the state tournament. And an outstanding freshman campaign. And now the quarterback during his sophomore season. As Brad Bunting comes out, it will be a holding penalty against the offense. So they'll move him back. And getting caught on that one is Anthony Kiabata.
And a tough play there because you've built up some momentum on these last couple of plays, putting up some beautiful passes across the field from this offense. And now this is a penalty that can potentially stall your drive out and give the ball back to Northwest.
all the way back to the 33-yard line and makes it 2nd down and 23. Nuss wants to throw, flips it out, complete to Martin. Martin at the 40, through one tackle and forward to the 45-yard line. So able to pick up 12 on the swing pass. It'll set up at least a 3rd and manageable now for the Dragons.
Yeah, and you still got a long distance to go, but 11 yards is going to look a lot better than 21 yards.
And that'll be 3rd down and 12. Need to get to the Waukee Northwest 44-yard line for the first down. Johnston going up-tempo here with 4:37 to play in the first quarter. Waukee Northwest holding on to a 7-0 lead. Nuss across the middle, looking up the seam, incomplete. That time he was trying to find Sean Strand, but too tall on the throw, incomplete. And it'll be another stop for this Waukee Northwest D.
Yeah, and a great play there by Harry Linen as he was able to almost come up with that interception. He's a guy that has been fun to watch since he grew through his sophomore year last year for the Wolves and really started to step up late in the season. Even saw some time at running back for the Wolves last year.
5 of 13 for Will Nuss in the early going. Came in completing 69.4% of his passes. It has been off here tonight. Another punt for the Dragons and a good one. Coming in and grabbing it on the fly with the fair catch at the 27-yard line is Owen Klunder. And Waukee Northwest now going to get the football back for the 3rd time, and they've been successful. And it's been a whole bunch, the quarterback, Sam Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson has looked absolutely fantastic tonight, and is silencing some of the doubters that have kind of talked about whether the possibility of maybe a quarterback switch with Wyatt Christensen. Kind of breathing down his neck a little bit over these last couple of weeks, but it's been great seeing Johnson kind of come into his own now through this early part of this game.
5 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown for Johnson. Also 1 of 2 passing to this point. Early on in the football game, 4:28 left to go in the first quarter. And a beautiful night for football in Waukee. Northwest High School in its 2nd year of existence. They'll start things off in the pistol for Johnson. And he will hand it to Grisham, but not much running room. Defensive front is already there for Johnston. A couple of guys in on the tackle, including Matthew Trollinger.
Yeah, Trollinger getting some great penetration there up front, and that's been more of the same from what we've seen from Brady Grisham. Had a great first half against Valley, like I mentioned earlier, but really defense have been keying in on him. He has not had that same type of energy and production since.
They'll flip it out this time on the swing pass to Grisham. Got a little bit of room, falls forward for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and medium for Waukee Northwest. And with a guy like Grisham, not a whole lot of running room out there. Love that. Get him out there in space.
Yeah, and Grisham's a guy that's deceptively quick out of the backfield. And as we saw in week 1 against Valley, he can lower the shoulder and lay out a big hit.
3rd down and 6. And they're going to set up a run for Johnson in the middle. Cuts back near the first down stick, and I think he got it. Boy, what a gutsy call there. 3rd down and 6, and you go with the quarterback power.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come all the way down to the measuring because both of the judges, and they will actually give him the first, but each ref was marking at a different spot, and if ref here on the near side had gotten his way, they would have been a yard short and bring a 4th down.
Seen that a couple of times here tonight. The one side a little bit different than the other, but one closest to it gets the spot and gives the first down to Waukee Northwest. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line from the pistol. Coming in motion, they got an end around set up on the left side, but crunched behind the line of scrimmage. What a physical tackle for the Dragons coming in and laying the lick. Again, Josh Kerber was there. He was joined by Cohen Mack, and a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it here that there was no blocking really set up in front, and the great shift on the defensive side of the ball to recognize that the end around was coming. There was nowhere for for Carter to go with that football.
2nd down and 12 after the loss of 2. 2.5 to play. They'll hand it to Grisham. Tries to fight his way through the tackle, but ripped down by Josh Kerber. Kerber, he's been all over the place for the Dragons.
Yeah, and that's what you want from, some of your 2nd or 3rd level defenders able to come up at the point of attack and make a big stop like that, which we've seen from him in the last 2 plays.
2:15 left first quarter. Waukee Northwest with the football in a 7-point lead. High school football on 96.9 The Bull. Trent Condon, Tyler French here, and our video stream on CISN TV. Trips right, and another setup run for Johnson, the quarterback. He goes out to the left. This time not going to find the first down sticks, though. Pushed out after a short gain. It will be 4th down now at their own 43-yard line, and the Well, we'll see. Thought the punting unit was going to come out right away. Now it'll come out.
And I thought that Johnston kind of lowered his shoulder a little too quickly on that one and went to the run as, he's had the success, and I thought he got a little too run happy on that play, not letting the play develop.
Just over 2 minutes left here as the punt unit comes out again for Waukee Northwest. Tanner Philpott puts a boot to it, and a good one inside the 20-yard line. Is going to be grabbed there by Johnston, trying to get to the outside as Tatum Fox up the sideline at the 30, 40, cuts back at the 50, and he is pushed out there. But a penalty flag back at the 20-yard line, right near where he grabbed the football. Hold on, Dragon fans.
And that was a great return on the outside, but unfortunately, I think this is going to come back right in the area where you see a lot of block in the backs on punt returns, and I think that is going to be the case here, and that'll back them up inside their own 20.
Also, another flag came out on the far side of the field, right where Tatum was pushed out.
I'm wondering if that's going to be a late hit. It looked like there was a big hit at the end of that play on Northwest side.
He's kind of backing his way out of bounds, and didn't see if there's maybe an extra defender that came in, gave him a little something extra as he was going out of bounds. But the refereeing crew now going to talk things over. Brad Bunting, the referee, umpire Jason Higgins, Gabe Capps, the linesman, line judge Michael Cayley, and Brent Fidley, the back judge.
Illegal block in the back. Return team, number 5. That penalty enforced 10 yards from the spot of foul. After the play, dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 52. Will enforce that penalty after the block in the back is enforced. 15 yards, first down, Johnston.
So it is a block in the back, and then the personal foul after the play as we see the replay. And what would have been great field position for Johnston out near the 50-yard line going to be put back. You can see that block in the back right there, and then the extracurriculars afterwards. Boy, he was going out of bounds there. I not sure on that one.
I don't think it was necessarily an intentional hit because you was locked up with a blocker there right on the play. So I think overall it might have just been an incidental, but it was a late hit. It is going to draw that 15-yard penalty. So overall the penalties do kind of nullify a little bit, but they do get an extra 5 yards for Johnston.
So at the 25-yard line, Dragons with the football again. The offense has sputtered at times tonight. Will Nuss, 5 of 13 throwing to this point. And he'll start with the offense at the 25, single receiver right, 2 left. And Tubbs with him in the backfield. They'll hand to Tubbs, but hit in the backfield for a loss. Boy, what penetration up there and cleaning it up. That was number 34, Eli Moses.
Eli Moses is my favorite player to watch on this defense front, and really this entire team. He plays with such energy. He's a leader on this team, and now as a senior has really come into his own at the defensive end spot.
Loss of 2 for Blake Tubbs. It'll be second down and 12 from the 23-yard line. Johnston's offense has been high-powered here the last couple of weeks, but they have slowed down at 44 last week against DCG, 24 in a win against Urbandale in week 2. Nuss thinks about throwing, now going to run forward. He'll just slide down after a short gain past the original line of scrimmage. He picks up 3, but he'll make it 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Nuss is trying to get what he can out of that play, realizing that there wasn't going to be a avenue past that slide position. So really just taking the opportunity to get some yards and get down.
3rd down and 9. Big play receiver this year. He's been Rex Woodley. We talked about averaging over 38 yards per reception this year. Jacob Simpson, the big 6'5" receiver. A couple of the top targets here for the Dragons. Man in motion on 3rd and 9. Nuss in the pocket, looking out to his left, and tipped away, incomplete. Great play by Harry Linen. It'll be 4th down.
And that's a second straight 3rd down that he has gotten a hand on the ball to knock it down. Thought he might even come down with an impressive interception, but at the very least gets this Johnston offense off the field.
4th down and 9, and again it'll be another punt for Johnston. It's been a busy night for Will Safras. He was averaging 32.7 yards per punt coming in. Junior for the Dragons. Safras will punt it away. And again back, Waukee Northwest looking at some good field position here.
And that's a 3rd time in a row we've seen Northwest get real close to getting a hand on the punt.
Ball hits at the 43-yard line, and a little backspin on that one. Back to the 45-yard line. Waukee Northwest with 22 seconds left in the first quarter, leading 7-0. They'll get the ball back again.
And we'll see if they can take advantage of great starting field position. This has felt like a very long, drawn-out first quarter because neither offense really able to put much of a drive together outside of that big play from Sam Johnston early on.
Nuss now 5 of 14 throwing in the first quarter. 1st and 10, Waukee Northwest with the ball from their own 45. And they're going to hand it off, putting his head down through a tackler. There's the physicality of Brady Grisham.
And there was a lot of speed behind there. Grisham, when he gets ahead of steam, good luck if you are even a moderately sized defender.
And boy, we see the replay here on CISN TV. Turns the corner, gets that head of steam, and just absolutely went through the defender for Johnston, Josh Kerber. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Your score, Waukee Northwest 7, Johnston 0. We continue high school football on 96.9 The Bull and CISN.TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Trent Condon, Tyler French back with you in Waukee Northwest High School. 7-0, the Wolves with the lead over the visiting Johnston Dragons. Week 4 of the Iowa High School football season. Glad to have you with us here this evening. Setting up a pass, Johnson off the play action, rolling to his right, still looking, now wants to duck. He's going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage, and that was Kerber coming forward and getting the sack on the play.
I believe there's a flag out there. I think this is going to go against Cale Winter on a holding call.
So Winter got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and Johnson set that up beautifully. That was a hard fake on the play action, but the defense for the Dragons didn't bite. And you're right, it is a holding penalty, so this is a decision, and they're going to walk it back. So it would have been 3rd down and 8. Instead, they're going to walk it back 10 yards from the spot, and that'll be all the way back to the 38-yard line. And that's going to make it a 2nd down and 17.
Yeah, and it's usually a pretty easy call for an official when the offensive player is literally laying on top of the defensive player for a holding call.
That's one you and I could make.
Yeah, and that was the case there for Cale.
2nd and 17 now for Waukee Northwest. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Out of the gun, setting up quarterback draw again. Left side, Johnson's already over 100 yards, and he picks up 6 more. Make it 7 and a good strong run from Sam Johnson. The quarterback came in with 112 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns on the ground, and he has doubled that already now.
Yeah, and they've definitely needed that as it's provided another avenue to their offense. The passing game, I think you're going to have to find a way to get it going, though.
Rolls out to the right. Johnson looking to throw on 3rd down. Still looking. Pressure coming. Steps through 1 tackle. Not a second. It'll be another sack for the Johnston defense. And that time, coming in from the defensive line spot, it was Drew Teggles with the sack.
And that was definitely a coverage sack. There was no one open downfield. And as I mentioned during pregame, this has been a spot where the offense has really struggled, has been trying to create separation in the passing game.
4th down, and the punt unit comes out for Waukee Northwest. Talked about it at the top. Tanner Philpott, he has been outstanding this year for Waukee Northwest. And will try to flip the field position here and pin Johnston deep again. Line drive, end over end punt. Hits off a defender at about the 23-yard line and moves forward to the 14. We'll see where they're going to spot that. I thought it maybe hit him on the coverage unit out past the 20.
Yeah, it looked like it bounced off Klunder's left hip as he was going downfield. They're looking to make the official decision here.
Yeah, they're talking things over down there, and kind of important. I mean, the difference between starting inside your 20 and outside of it. Bunting, Brad Bunting does have that one. The referee out of Indianola. So good work out of the crew. They mark it at the 21-yard line, had the right call there. And that's where Johnston will begin. A difficult night, though, for this Johnston offense that have been playing so well the last couple of weeks. Will Nuss, 5 of 14, throwing the football. Blake Tubbs, 2 carries for just 1 yard. Nuss wanting to set up a screen. Tap back incomplete. It'll be an incompletion there, but great defense again for the Wolves.
Yeah, the pass protection completely breaking down on that one, letting a host of Wolves into the backfield. Do want to go back to last play, though. Just a big shout out. This officiating crew has been absolutely fantastic tonight. Isfeld has been very balanced, and I don't think they have missed a call yet.
Second down and 10 after the incompletion. 7-0 Waukee Northwest leading Johnston with 10:25 to play in the second quarter. From the gun again, Nuss rolling out to the right. Looking, gonna take a shot up the field, intercepted, picked off, going the other way. Waukee Northwest, ball came loose, and it'll be an interception and marked down at the 22-yard line. Just overshot the receiver, and waiting there, Owen Klunder with the pick.
And Owen Klunder has had his hands on a number of balls throughout the season, finally able to put the squeeze on one. And I think this was really set up too. Eli Moses forcing the quarterback further and further out, and a receiver tripping up there in the middle of the field, even taking a defender out of the play. Either way, though, Owen Klunder getting great starting field position here for the Wolves after the pick.
37-yard line is where Waukee Northwest will start trying to build on a 7-0 lead. As they have been in control, the opening possession for the Wolves went down, scored a touchdown on a 59-yard scamper from Sam Johnson. They're going to go up the middle this time. And Grisham bursting through, out just short of the first down. Good, strong 9-yard run on that one.
Yeah, I think the big thing, too, is that we've seen Grisham struggle to go up the middle a little bit over the last couple of weeks. This time, the offensive line getting good push up front and able to open up a big hole.
Middle of the offensive line, big hole there. And Grisham, as you said earlier, he's got a big hole this time up the middle again. First down and more to the 16-yard line. A pickup at 12, and Grisham, he's got a little something extra here tonight.
Yeah, I think that he's been frustrated the last couple of weeks, and now getting a couple opportunities, he's building that confidence back up and ready to take advantage.
First and 10 from the 15-yard line, and they'll go back to Grisham, this time just a short gain of 2. It'll be second down for the Wolves. Well, it was a lot of Sam Johnson early. Now it's Brady Grisham getting a bulk of the carries, and that 1-2 punch helping Waukee Northwest. They lead 7-0 in the second quarter. Back out of the shotgun, it's Grisham again, breaks through a couple of tackles to the 5-yard line. First down, Northwest.
Yeah, I think the Wolves are coming out to say, who needs a passing game? Come out and stop our two-headed monster in the backfield.
This is big boy football, power football. Get out the air horn. And going old school here, just running the ball up the gut. Full house backfield now. And they're going to hand it to Grisham again. This time, penetration and hit for a stop. Waiting there in the middle. And there's that name again, Josh Kerber. Another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, and I think they figured out what this offense is trying to do now a little bit. And we'll see if we maybe see them go to the play action, as we have not really seen that much today outside of the failed opportunity on the holding call earlier.
2 receivers to the right from the pistol. And they'll hand it to Grisham, looks to the left side, falls forward for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line, picked up the 2 yards he just lost.
Yeah, and it'll set up an interesting opportunity now if they don't pick up the necessary yardage to get the touchdown here, if they decide to go for it this close in or settle for a field goal attempt.
Cooper Chaffis will come into the game along with Will Retz, a couple of extra receivers out there, singles on each side, an extra tight end. On 3rd and goal from the 5 for the Wolves.
Look at the Adams matchup over here as he's got a linebacker on him.
H-back comes in motion, but we have whistles and a timeout. Johnston going to use a timeout. 8:02 to play. We'll take it with them. 3rd and goal when we come back. This is high school football on 96.9 The Bull and CISN.TV.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
The field, a lot of options here. Sam Johnston, he's been outstanding running the football as the quarterback here this evening.
Yeah, and I told you off air, I think that timeout by Johnston saved a touchdown. Jackson Adams was one-on-one with a linebacker in Kerber. I don't think he would have been able to stick with him on an out route.
Looking back over at the sideline, it says Waukee Northwest, and now they're going to use one of the remaining timeouts here. Both teams down to their final timeout of the first half with 8:02 to play. We'll keep it right here. Waukee Northwest, 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Well, Johnston, he's been good as a runner. It's been a lot of Brady Grisham this drive on the ground. That receiver group, Cooper Chaffetz, he came in. Grisham's been used as a receiver. We've seen him in a swing pass a couple of times, but at least right now, not a real deep wide receiver group in terms of numbers.
Yeah, there's been a couple plays here and there. Grant Carter has seen some time out at the receiver spot, number 5. Jackson Adams, and he has been kind of starting opposite of Chaffetz on the field. Chaffetz has been the best go-to target. They did have another option out there, but no longer on the roster, that had a couple opportunities in the first couple of weeks in Fondell, but no longer on the active roster for Northwest. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go here, as, Grisham had the success early in the drive, but the last couple plays has gotten stuffed. I wonder, maybe look to possibly go with a option outside.
Johnston's such a good athlete. Love to see him on the move and give him that run-pass option, get him outside the pocket. 3rd and goal, and he'll work out of the shotgun. He's got single receivers on both sides of the formation, and Grisham with him in the backfield. H-back comes to the backside. Now will come in motion over to the right. On 3rd and goal, they will set up a run for Johnston. Trying to get to the corner, and he is in. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest. Sam Johnston, for the 2nd time tonight, he finds pay dirt. 13-0 Wolves.
Yeah, a really good read on that option play to take it to the far side of the field. And he knew that if it's one-on-one going to the outside, no one on that defense was going to catch him.
Touchdown, Waukee Northwest, and a beautiful fake. And now they'll set up the PAT with the shifting motion. And they look to see if the defense is set, and if they don't have that defense set up right, they'll snap it back and try to get 2 points out of it. Instead, now they'll set up for the traditional PAT. Snap back, hold down, kick on its way, and it is good. 14-0 after the PAT from Gerhardt. Waukee Northwest leading Johnston. Stay right there. We got a good one on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN.TV. You may
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Trent Connon and Tyler French with you in Waukee Northwest High School. The Wolves out to a 14-0 lead against the visiting Johnston Dragons, our Central Iowa game of the week. Afterwards, we'll hand out our Graphite Construction Group Hard Hat Player of the Game, as it is Aiden Gufa who will kick things off here. New kicker for Waukee Northwest. A short kick grabbed at the 13-yard line by Johnston, but stuck right away, trying to go to the middle of the field, and Rex Woodley was cut down after a 4-yard return.
Yeah, Logan Stotts, great kick coverage on that one. A host of Wolves in the area, and we've seen Stotts make a couple of big plays here on the defensive side of the ball, this time getting it done on special teams.
Aiden, G-U-C-F-A, new name for me, Gukfa? New name for you, perhaps, even.
I have not seen that one. I did see the senior listed down below when I was walking in.
Interesting. Well, a different kicker out there, and it worked out beautifully with that coverage unit for Waukee Northwest. Johnston will start at their own 17-yard line. Will Nuss, it's been a struggle for him at quarterback tonight. They're going to start to the ground game, but not much running room. Maybe got back past the line of scrimmage, but if it was a gain, it was a short run. It'll be a second down and long.
And one of the things we talked in pregame is how was this young secondary going to step up? You know, struggling a little bit against Valley and Johnson, and then, of course, last week against Southeast Polk. But they have really made Johnson, which was already kind of a one-dimensional team, really struggle in what they have excelled at throughout the rest of the season.
Two receivers right, one left, as Nuss is going to roll out to his right side. He's going to take a shot up the field. He's got a man one-on-one out there. It is complete. Out to the 30-yard line. What a throw from Will Nuss as he's able to find Tatum Fox for the big play.
Nuss with a huge answer as he tries to get his team back within one score on this drive. And one of the big things, if Austin Ort turns his head, he probably knocks this one down, but just unable to get his head around on the pass.
Beautiful looking throw out there. Nuss showing that strong arm as a third baseman in the big play to Tatum Fox, who's been his big play receiver. They're going to set up a screen right side to Woodley. Connected, but spun down after just a short gain. Good help defense there from Waukee Northwest. It looked like maybe Woodley was going to squirt out of that one, but the help was there after a gain of a yard.
Yeah, that was a nice gang tackle by the Wolves defense. Good bounce back off the big play. That can kind of demoralize you sometimes, but that was not the case this time.
Johnston with the football, down by 14. 6.5 to play the second quarter. Waukee Northwest 14, Johnston nothing in our game of the week. From the 28-yard line, and we got movement. We got guys coming across the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be an easy offsides call against Eli Moses.
One difference at the high school level, once you pass as a defensive player, the line of scrimmage, it's an automatic flag, but that one, there was no discrepancy. He was going through everybody.
Yeah, Moses knew he was offsides when he dropped his head before the whistle even sounded.
So that'll make it second down and 4. Move it forward to the 23-yard line. Dragons trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time here tonight. 3 receivers left, 1 right for Will Nuss. Looking out to the right side, and receiver falling down, comes up with the football. Completion to Jacob Simpson. He lost his footing down there, still was able to haul it in.
Person being 6'5", when you start to fall, it takes a long time to hit the ground.
And now 3 straight completions this drive from Will Nuss. Starting to heat back up.
And Nuss didn't even go through his progressions. He knew who his hot route was. Defense backed off. The nice little comeback route by
Simpson with the grab and a pickup of 13. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 13 for Johnston. They're going to throw it again, looking towards the end zone, incomplete. Going for the big 6'5" Jacob Simpson again, but too tall on that one. Good hand fighting over there also from the defensive back in coverage, including Grant Mackey for the Wolves.
Yeah, and that's a huge height disadvantage. Mackey at 5'11", the taller of the 2 defenders. But when you're going to get Simpson and his 6'5" frame, you've got to try and keep his hands down as best you can without interfering.
It'll be second down and 10 from the 13 now. Nuss setting up to throw again. Across the middle behind his receiver, looking for Simpson. Incomplete.
Good pressure there by Cale Winter as he forced a quick throw from Nuss and ended up being behind the receiver, and another opportunity for this defense to try and hold strong.
Good penetration again out of that front. You mentioned Winter. He's been all over the place. Grisham's going to come back in to play a little defense now on this 3rd down and 10 play. Brady Grisham playing so well at the running back spot. Now going to play a little rush end on the right side of the formation. They'll put a man in motion. That is Strand. Nuss to throw, looking towards the end zone, high again and incomplete. It'll be 4th down. So after 3 straight completions to begin the drive for Will Nuss, 3 straight incompletions makes it 4th down.
And it looks like Johnston's going to take the opportunity to try and put some points on the board and at least get this opportunity for them on the scoreboard for the first time.
Lining up the field goal attempt, they'll mark it down right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 30-yard attempt for Carson Hansen. He is 4 for 4 on field goals this year, along a 44. This one from the right hash and 30, a bit high on the snap. Gets it down, kick with plenty of leg, and it is no good. Hits off the upright, and Johnston, their first sustained drive of the first half, comes up empty. The Wolves get the stop.
And that has been the story of their game so far, as they've been able to put some big plays together, but it has been trying to string them together. We've seen Johnston be able to go out with Nuss and put up a couple big passes here and there, but it has been a consistent drive that has been eluding them so far in this game.
So they will get the football back, Waukee Northwest, at their own 20-yard line. And now, plenty of time, 5:33 to play. And they got an opportunity to put some more on the board. It was the ground game and Brady Grisham the last time they had the football. Then a touchdown run from 5 yards away from Sam Johnson. Put a cap on it. They'll go right back to Grisham. He cuts back, spins forward, and picks up 3.
Yeah, good vision there from Grisham. Saw there was nothing on the right side, able to cut it back to the left and at least make something out of what was originally going to be no gain.
And certainly content running a little bit of clock here as we have 5:15 left in the second quarter. Leading it by 14. Waukee Northwest on 2 touchdown runs from their quarterback, Sam Johnson. After this lead, and the defense has been the story, slowing down this high-powered Johnston passing attack. 2nd and 7 inside of 5 minutes to play from the pistol. That'll be Johnson taking the snap. He'll hand it off to Grisham again, and he is hit right at the line once again. Good penetration up front from the Johnston defense, filling up the hole and getting the tackle after a gain of a yard.
Yeah, the second line of that defense, the linebacking core, able to come up. As soon as they saw Grisham had the ball, it was every man for themselves heading towards the ball carrier.
Carter Callan there, amongst others, with the tackle for Johnston. 3rd down and 6 from the 24-yard line. We'll get a whistle, and we're going to get, I thought it was going to be a timeout. Not going to be the case. They're just moving the football over a little bit, respotting the ball. And now back ready again. 3rd down and 6 with 4:20 to play. Play clock, plenty of time, 20 seconds to go. High snap. They're going to go back to the ground again, and falling forward for a gain of 2 is Brady Grisham, but it'll be 4th down, and they will punt it away as the clock will tick inside of 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. Conservative game plan, but you can do that up a couple of scores.
Yeah, especially, again, this team is not a group that really is able to move the ball quite effectively through the offense a lot of the time, or through the air a lot of the time. So, go out, see what you can do on the ground, chew up some clock, and then try and hope your defense has one more hold on them here in the first half.
Play clock down to 11 seconds as the punt unit comes off with Tanner Philpott. Philpott's done a good job back there, the left-footed punter. Pounds this one, line drive end over end, hits at the 50-yard line. It'll take a Waukee Northwest bounce, and it'll roll forward all the way to the 40-yard line as it's marked down there. 34-yard punt, 34-yard net. Johnston will get the football back at their own 40-yard line. Well, we saw some good things last possession from Will Nuss, but it ended at the 13-yard line. 3 straight incompletions from him. There's been some passes that have floated both behind receivers and high tonight.
Yeah, everything has kind of been coming up in Northwest here in this first half. Nuss, we know, has the arm talent to be able to get this team on the board, especially with about 3.5 minutes left and a timeout still in his pocket. But this defense has been incredibly strong, not relenting on that last drive, even after the 54-yard bomb.
Menson Martin, the running back, and he'll get the carry on the right side as he's bumped forward to the 45, pick up a 5 on the run. Martin has been the more effective of the 2 runners to this point tonight. 3 carries for 13 yards with 3:05 to play.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
1 timeout remaining on both sides here as we play late in the first half. 2 receivers on each side of the formation for Nuss. Again, he's got Martin with him in the backfield. Get a swing it out to him, complete. First down past the 50-yard line, forward to the 47, a pickup of 8. Nice simple pitch and catch there, and the first down for Johnston.
Yeah, that's the second time in as many drives that we've seen them go to that play and have some success getting it to Martin out of the backfield. And these two offenses have been polar opposites of each other. One team moving the ball through the air, the other on the ground.
Upended at the 47 and jumping off sides once again. That is Eli Moses for the second time.
Yeah, and both times it's been fairly obvious, and he's known it immediately. Getting a little too excited here, and he's going to come off the field.
Get a substitution out there on the defensive line. Trevor Zarkowski will get a snap and get Eli over there, take a breath. That's when don't want to guess on the snap count. Got to see that ball move. 1st and 5, 2:48 to play in the second quarter. Nuss looks to throw out, complete for the first down. Nice looking completion as he was able to find Rex Woodley with the connection and a first down to the 33-yard line, pick up a 9.
And the nice thing, too, going out of bounds there, still have plenty of time here in the half, but you want to try and put 7 on the board on this drive. Obviously, you had the missed field goal, but you want to try and get back within 1 score before going into the break.
At the Wolves' 33-yard line, Johnston football. They'll stack 2 receivers on the left, 2 to the right. Pressure comes, rolling out. Nuss throws it incomplete, looking for Woodley again. That one too high, and the pressure was coming from behind and got a hit on Nuss.
Yeah, and that was a nice play coming off the edge for Adam Gardner, able to force a quick throw from Nuss and the incomplete pass.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion at the 33.
2nd and 10.
Go with a 3-receiver look now here on the bottom of your screen. 1 receiver out to the right. That's big Jacob Simpson. Look back over at the sideline for the Dragons on this 2nd down play. 11 on the play clock. He'll put Martin on his left hip. Nuss from the shotgun. And he'll hand it off to Martin. Not much running room in the middle. Good penetration up front by the defensive line, including Kai Krofta there for Waukee Northwest.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be an injury timeout as Martin's slow to get up a little bit, so that'll stop the clock here for Johnston.
Just 1 yard, and it'll be 3rd down and 9. And here at the 32-yard line, it feels like probably 4-down territory. I mean, you're looking without any yard gained, a 49-yard field goal. So this is one where you're probably telling your quarterback, Coach Woodley and that staff, hey, you don't have to get it all right here. If you can pick up 4 or 5 yards, make it 4th and manageable, we'll definitely take that in this spot.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity late in the first half as you are trying to put points up. And, you know, one of the big things, I would argue that Johnston has looked like the better offense. In this one, Northwest has been the beneficiary of bigger plays with the long touchdown run and the interceptions setting up a short field.
It'll be 3rd down and 9 as continue to be down there on the field. Running back Menson Martin, a junior. He's got 4 carries tonight for 14 yards. Also 2 receptions for 20 yards on a couple of swing passes, but they continue to check on him down there. The offense also talking things over. Waukee Northwest defense, they have played at a high level tonight. They made it difficult on Will Nuss, who is seeing his most difficult evening of his career. Back to his feet is Martin. He's going to walk off the field under his own power. Good to see there. 3rd and 9, back ready for live action. 2:25 left in the second quarter. Trent Condon, Tyler French with you. Radio side on 96.9 The Bull and the video stream on CISN TV. A couple other games tonight. We'll get you some scores coming up at halftime. 2 other games on CISN TV. Cedar Falls at Ankeny Centennial and Iowa City City High over at Valley Stadium against the Dowling Catholic Maroons. Here it is 3rd and 9, empty set. 5 receivers for Will Nuss. Looking to his left, short pass and incomplete. Just past and behind the intended receiver again. And if you would have thrown that one on target, it might have been picked off.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it was a rush throw from Nuss. And like you mentioned before, 4-down territory, the offense is going to stay out. But, you know, you don't have Eli Moses on the field right now, so there's not a lot of pass rush out there. Take your time, find an opening, and try and complete the ball.
A little bit of movement, but nobody went past the line of scrimmage. A flinch from the defense of Waukee Northwest would stay on their side on this 4th down and 9 with 3 receivers left, 1 right. Nuss from the shotgun, going to throw it up, looking for his big receiver, Simpson. He comes down with the football inside the 5-yard line. Just throw it up to the 6'5" receiver.
And that's exactly what you have to do in a situation like that. You've got not a lot of safety help over the top, under a little bit of pressure. Go to your stud receiver, and he's able to come down with a huge catch.
Pickup of 30 on the play on 4th and 9. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line inside of 2 minutes remaining. And well, now Johnston certainly knows no need to hurry. Can eat some clock here. Don't want to give Waukee Northwest too much time themselves. Play clock down to 15. They can snap this one with about a minute and a half. They're going to go early, though. They'll hand it off and hit behind the line of scrimmage. Great penetration. Waukee Northwest. Hunter Smith with the tackle for a loss.
Yeah, great penetration coming off that end unit. Smith coming from the left side. And, they talk about the predictability of, the Iowa Hawkeye offense. If they come under center, they're pretty much running the ball 80% of the time. It's a very consistent thing in high school football where most teams are going to pistol and shotgun formations. If you come under center, the defense knows you're going to run the football.
Timeout on the field with 1:13 to play. And Waukee Northwest going to use their final timeout of the half. We'll come back. More high school football on 96.9 The Bull. Video streaming on CISN TV.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
With the lead over Johnston, but the Dragons are threatening at the 5-yard line. Tyler, a lot of different play calls you can go with here. And it's been the passing game for the Dragons.
Yeah, and I'm looking the big guy, Simpson.
Yeah.
He's made some incredible catches here tonight, and using that 6-inch height advantage, this is where you like to go to your tight end, and in this opportunity, your big wide receiver.
Going to go back under center again, Will Nuss, for the few times tonight. They're going to go the fullback, fighting forward. It'll be a short gain, but it'll be, 3rd down and goal at the 2.
That's the fullback.
Yeah, the offense was able to get a push up front, get Kerber an opportunity to pick up some yards. But again, you go under center, that defense knows you're going to be running the football, so unable to pick up those last couple.
First carry of the season for Kerber. Talked about him a lot defensively. 3rd and goal from the 2. I formation. They'll give it back to Kerber again. Hit right at the line. That defense for Waukee Northwest, they stiffen again. Wow.
And if I'm Johnston here, I got to go for it.
Yeah.
With how your offense is move the ball on this possession. But I got to put the ball in Nuss's hands. He's been your best player throughout this entire season. You got to trust your quarterback.
It'll be 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. The play clock is basically off here, though it's still running. It will not matter. There's 18 on the play clock, 17 on the game clock, and looks like Johnson's going to let this thing roll down to probably 2-3 seconds left, use their final timeout, and then set up the 4th down play. Coach Woodley over and talking to the official. 5 seconds, and they will use the timeout here. Let's keep it right here, the final timeout of the first half. It's been an entertaining one. Waukee Northwest on their opening possession. They marched down the field, and Sam Johnson on 3rd down scampered 59 yards for a touchdown, made it 7-0 Waukee Northwest. And after a short field, it was Sam Johnson again on another 3rd down play. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Johnson on the zone read, kept it himself, and went to the left side into the end zone, made it 14-0, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah, and this game has been kind of, they talk about the game of basketball. It's all about runs. That has kind of been the story for Nuss passing the football tonight. He'll have a stretch where he'll complete 3 or 4 in a row. They don't have a couple that he doesn't look like a starting quarterback, but then he's going to drop back, deliver a beautiful 30-yard pass that sets up 1st and goal.
He has been fun to watch here tonight. Inconsistent and Also something you'd anticipate out of, an underclassman, even a high-level one like Will Nuss. That inconsistency certainly has been there. We'll see if they're going to put the ball in his hands. They've gone a couple of fullback dives with Kerber, who's been great defensively tonight, and he's getting a couple of carries inside the 5-yard line. 4th and goal. This will be a huge play in determining how this one wraps up in the first half. Single receiver out to the left. That is Simpson.
I'm expecting that's where they're going with the football. One-on-one coverage here on the near side.
I formation. Play action, pressure comes, flips it out, incomplete. Defense once again stiffens for Northwest. In on the hit, Logan Stotts was there, Owen Klunder. A couple of guys from the defensive backfield coming scooting in, and they get the pressure and the stop.
I don't agree with the call to try and go to play action pass there. Penalty flag on the field, so we'll see what the call is, but I would have gone a quick one-out route to Simpson on the other side.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will move it half the distance to the goal. Now, they were already at the 1-yard line. This is going to move it inside of that. 1 second still on the clock, so they will have to snap it one time. You'd anticipate it's just going to be a quarterback sneak with Johnston, but funky things can happen. A bobbled exchange, get hit, penetration right up the middle, so this half's not over quite yet.
Yeah, and you saw on the replay right there that this defense brought the house. If you're running Madden, you don't like to run engage 8. They ran engage 10 there. There was one defender out covering Simpson. Everyone else was coming after the quarterback.
Went play action, and the penetration was there. Stotts along with Klunder forced the incompletion and a turnover and downs for Johnston. Now it'll be one final snap of the first half inside the 1-yard line. Waukee Northwest just going to try to push this thing out of here and make sure they get it out of their own end zone. Well, they got the quarterback to do it, Sam Johnson. He has been good running the football. He'll sneak forward, and that's how the half will come to a close. Waukee Northwest, 14-0 over the Johnston Dragons, and our Central Iowa Game of the Week on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN TV. Fun one here, Tyler. We have been set up for an outstanding first half from Waukee Northwest. The Wolves, boy, they got to be so happy where they are right now.
Yeah, and I think this is a very surprising score for a lot of people that may be checking scores around the CIML here at halftime, as Johnson was probably favored by at least a couple scores.
Yeah.
Coming to this one with the way Northwest has struggled offensively, but Sam Johnson has been the story on the offensive side of the football tonight.
2 of 3 passing, that is not the story. It's what he's done with his legs. 2 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards. In fact, 100 yards in his first 5 carries of the night. I'm leading Waukee Northwest here to this 14-0 lead. We'll take a timeout, get you some scores from across the area, and get you set up for the second half. It's the halftime show presented by the Urology Center of Iowa. When we come back, watching us on CISN TV and listening on 96.9 The Bull, stay right there. We're back with more in a moment.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
For 75 years, Holt Service Trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the whole difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car, so to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Tyler French, thanks for joining us here, the Urology Center of Iowa halftime show. 14-0 our score. Waukee Northwest with the lead over the Johnston Dragons. And Tyler, you said it right at the end of the half. I think a surprise to a lot of people here tonight. Johnston considered probably the favorite in a lot of people's minds, but not only has it been about the running game of Waukee Northwest, this defense pitching a shutout.
Yeah, this defense has looked absolutely inspired tonight, and I think it might be fueled by the kind of blowout losses they've had to open up the season. Back-to-back 40-plus points allowed against Southeast Polk and Dowling the previous 2 weeks. So I think they are coming in with a chip on their shoulder and are really playing some good football tonight.
It opened up after a long possession and ended on a third down run from Sam Johnson as he scooted in the end zone on a 3rd and 2, 59 yards away, made one man miss, cut back, and he was off to the races, cut back at the 15-yard line from there, and hit pay dirt, made it 7-0 after the PAT was knocked home by Jake Gerhard. Later on in the football game, Waukee Northwest got a short field, and they hit the end zone again. Again, it was Sam Johnson who hits it from 5 yards away. It was another third down play, went with the zone read, and that was Brady Grisham, the running back. He was so good during that drive. Everybody was keying on him, and Johnson put it in his belly, pulled it back into his hands, and basically scooted into the end zone untouched.
Yeah, you could watch the defense flow towards Grisham on that one, and a great read by Johnson to see the defense reacting that way and be able to pull it out and head to the far side of the field knowing that it was going to be real tough for anyone to catch it.
So we got some scores from around the area and some surprises. We mentioned this one may be a surprise to some people, maybe an even bigger surprise on the other side of the City Metro. Southeast Polk hosting Ankeny. Saw the Hawks last week. They struggled mightily in a 17-10 loss to Dowling Catholic. Now they lead 21-7 against the top-ranked team.
Yeah, J.J. Cole has played fantastic tonight. 3 passing touchdowns, including one to a former quarterback in Jamison Patton, now a wide receiver and safety for Ankeny, and that was, I think, a great pickup for Ankeny. Patton, a very athletic player, dual sport athlete for the Rough Riders when he was still with Roosevelt, and now him catching a touchdown, huge boost for that team as he's a dual threat weapon for them on the offensive side now.
Last check, Dowling Catholic, a 14-0 lead over Mitch Moore's Iowa City High squad. Of course, those two teams a year ago played. That was a game that Jackson Smolik was injured, and it was Jake English that came into the football game at the quarterback spot. He was really good, though, overall, and able to pick up the win last year with City High. City High made all the way to the semifinals a year ago, but here, Dowling Catholic, they figured some things out after week one.
Yeah, I think Jackson Smolik, had to struggle a little bit against Southeast Polk, really figured things out in the previous weeks that we've seen him, and now I think has Dowling in a really good spot to potentially make a run to the Dome. We've got really 4 or 5 teams here in the CIML that have legitimate shots as a state championship contender.
Some other scores from around the area. Ankeny Centennial against Cedar Falls, 21-0, the score in that one. We'll pass along more scores. See anything else that popped out to you, Tyler, here as we're looking through the scores across Central Iowa?
Those were the main ones that jumped out. Valley up big on Waukee. Last I saw was 17-0. Not a huge surprise there with how strong Valley has looked to open up the season. Waukee, kind of like this Northwest team, is another program that's still kind of building for the future, hoping to continue to improve as they go along.
Saw them in week one as they took on Ankeny, and really inspired effort in the first half. And Coach Baker, he's got a quarterback. It's also his son. He's got quite the future as he played really well in that football game. Impressed by him. And as we've seen here at Waukee Northwest, same thing at Waukee. So much success for both of those schools in their first year of existence, now into the second year after the split. But, football is one that is so difficult. We remember with Ankeny, Centennial had the big jump early on, but just getting the numbers back up, guys that maybe stop playing 8th, 9th, 10th grade that you anticipate will be playing as upperclassmen. And when it was the big high school, those guys kind of get weeded out now. You got to keep those guys out and keep them into their junior and senior year.
Yeah, it's making sure that, that's where youth sports becomes so important, is you want to keep these kids interested and inspired playing football from an early age. And it's not just the game of football. You see it in all levels of sports across it, whether it's golf, whether it's, obviously golf a little bit tougher with not a lot of middle school programs you're going to see out there, but whether it's volleyball, basketball, football, wrestling, when your schools are splitting, there's going to be a drop-off in there. I know, obviously, Waukee got hit losing, your 2 big graduates from the boys basketball team a couple years ago with losing both Sanford and, your top player.
Yeah.
That then also graduating, those two, and then the school split, losing Price Sanford as well, is a big loss with both the Sanfords and DeVries losing that program. But it's been really exciting, I think, this year to watch Waukee and Northwest play against each other, especially with Omaha Ballou coming back into the fold for the Warriors.
It's going to be a fun one. Coming up here, we're going to talk more and get you ready for the second half. Also, some first half numbers as we continue on the Urology Center of Iowa halftime show. Trent Condon, Tyler French with you. Back with more in a moment on the halftime show on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN TV.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should.
Welcome back to the half as it's 14-0 Waukee Northwest with the lead over the Johnston Dragons. Joined right now by the athletic director at Waukee Northwest, Jim Dewey. And, well, got to be happy about this one. Tough start to the season, but running game got going, and that Wolves defense, boy, they were tuned up in the first half.
Yeah, I obviously you play the opponents that we played in the first 3 weeks. Obviously, all 3 of them top programs in the state. That created a lot of challenges for us. We don't complain about it. We don't back away from it, but it does put us in a tough situation to start the season. And Johnston is by far no slouch. They're an excellent ball club. Also, I think some things went our way early, where they didn't go our way in those especially the second and third games. Valley game, we got off to a good start and then had some things go bad in the second half. It's amazing what happens when you can play with some confidence and play with a lead. Funny thing, it was so big for us to get a stop there at the end of the half. Mm-hmm. If you go here, I'm going to do some stats for you.
Yeah.
The first 3 games of the year, we gave up 4 touchdowns in the last minute and 12 seconds of the first half. Man. And if you think about what that does to your momentum, any momentum that you might have had, and then put you in a bad situation going to the second half. So the fact that we were able to get a stop there is huge for us. I think it's a confidence builder, and hopefully it'll carry over to the second half.
Well, I was mentioning this is my first time here for the football field since the opener a season ago, and you guys were still figuring some things out. Everything wasn't quite complete at the time.
Yeah.
Boy, the facility, well, it looks a little different than I'm here during baseball and basketball season. This place is immaculate right now. Have to be so easy. Got to be a little bit easier for you in year 2 as compared to year 1.
It really is. And it's just like building a new house and having it open up for the first time. Last year we just had a lot of little things that weren't quite right, and I think we've ironed out a lot of our bad situations that we might have had last year. I think our stadium obviously is really nice. I think the fan experience that we provide is really neat and unique in Iowa high school athletics. So we love the crowds that we've been getting, and hopefully we'll have a good second half for them.
Lead here 14-0 over Johnston on the football field, but that's not all. Of course, it is the fall golf season. You got volleyball going on, cross country, a lot of fall sports as you guys gear up for year number 2. So successful in year number 1. What's fall sports looking like for you guys right now?
We're having a really good fall. We really are. We just quickly run down through what we have going this fall. We're a shared program with Waukee in swimming, our girls swim program, who were the state champions a year ago. And right now they're number 1 in the power rankings and have a really good season. And the neat thing for us is so many of the girls that are contributing to that success are Northwest students. So we see them in the hallways every day. So we're really happy about the swim program. Our volleyball team is currently ranked 5th. And, rankings don't help us come tournament time really, but they're having an excellent season. Our boys golf team they won the conference, I'm sure you guys talk about it, this new CIML. Mm-hmm. If you win a conference championship in this conference, you've done something.
Yeah.
And so for us to win the boys golf regular season conference title was great for us. Our cross country teams, our boys are ranked in the top. I think they're 3rd, and our girls have shown great improvement from a year ago. And I'm probably missing a sport, but that's kind of where we are.
Well, it's a great time and so much going on. Mention this second year, just how different it is. And and the experience also for the kids. Going through new high school, that shiny object kind of the first time everybody's excited. Does it just feel a little bit more normal this year, like a normal high school year that you've been around for so long?
Yeah, it really does. Last year it was
I'm
always
not calling you old, by the way.
Well, you can because it's true. But last year it was in everybody's the back of their mind, whether it was coaches, administrators, and I know the student body. Well, this is what we did last year at Waukee, and we were in purple and gold last year, but this was last year. Now it's this year. How do we act? How are things different? And I think you said it there. We've really kind of settled in here in year two, and hopefully, the fall season ends up the way we'd like it to end up, and then we go to the winter and the spring, and we had a lot of success in the spring and the summer last year, so we're hoping that carries over again this year. So, yeah, we're in a good place right now.
It's a great facility and a great time. Appreciate your hospitality as always. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks a lot.
Jim Dewey, the athletic director at Waukee Northwest. We'll take our final time out here of the Urology Center of Iowa halftime show. Again, your halftime score, Waukee Northwest 14, Johnston nothing. We continue. Back with more in a moment, getting ready for the start of the second half.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should.
Find Dowling Catholic against Iowa City High and Ankeny Centennial tonight hosting the Cedar Falls Tigers. 14-0 our halftime score as the players are going through their last-minute warm-ups. And Tyler, as we get ready for the start of the second half, got to be incredibly happy from a Waukee Northwest perspective. The run game got going. Johnston, how do the Dragons get back into this football game?
Well, I think the big thing is keying in on that run. You know, when that is one of the biggest weapons that Northwest can put out there, you got to find a way to take it away. And this team has, I can't say it enough, has struggled to throw the football this year. And we saw it a little bit in the first half when there were chances to throw the football. Johnston is going to try and run, first of all. And that was the case against this Johnston Dragon defense where, you know, he took one look, saw no one was open, tried taking off running with it, and we saw him get into trouble a couple times for it. You got to force them to throw the football a little bit more.
And looking at the numbers in the first half, Sam Johnson, the quarterback, he goes just 2 of 3 passing for 6 yards. It was the ground game. Sam Johnson going for 122 yards in the first half on 11 carries and the 2 touchdowns. Brady Grisham also chipped in 12 carries for 50 yards in the first half. Grisham also had both receptions for 6 yards. Will Nuss, 69% completion percentage, though, for Johnston. Just 11 of 28 in the first half, and it really wasn't drops or anything like that. It was passes either high or behind his intended targets here tonight. This just seemed a little bit off, and got to give credit to the Waukee Northwest front. They have not let him really settle and stand tall in that pocket.
Yeah, and even the opportunities that he has had to basically drop back and deliver a pass, those have been the ones that have been, a little bit tougher to catch. It's been the ones where he's been a little bit rushed where, I think maybe it's that third baseman instinct where he's able to deliver a good throw on the bounce, but he has kind of struggled a little bit when he's had to stand back in the pocket and not be able to really establish himself.
11 of 28, 167 yards through the air for Will Nuss and an interception. Blake Tubbs has carried it 4 times for -3 yards. Medson Martin, who left the game with an injury, 4 carries for 14 yards leading the way. Kickoff from Johnston into the end zone for a touchback, and that is how we start the second half as Carson Hansen pounds it in, his 10th touchback of the year. We'll be right back to the Waukee Northwest offense, and I think we know what the Wolves want to do here. This is some power football time.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see them come out, and they're going to run this football until Johnston can show that they can stop it.
From the 20-yard line, from the pistol, Sam Johnson with Brady Grisham back behind him. Grisham will get the carry, and he is knocked right at the line of scrimmage. Johnston defense was ready for him. Jamars Freeman in on the tackle, the senior. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there was a nice blitz up front that really saw the offensive line break down and the second line of the defense be able to clog any holes that were there, and the defensive line able to come up with another big stop.
2nd and 10, and they'll go back to the ground game again. Grisham on the outside. On the sweep, he gets to the 25-yard line before he is arm tackled down by Jacob Janney, a junior linebacker for the Dragons.
Yeah, Janney doing a great job getting that arm out, and I think he was even going after the football. Lucky that Grisham had such a good tight grip on it. Otherwise, that probably could have ended up in a fumble going the other way.
First possession of the second half. Waukee Northwest with the football leading 14-0. Taking a look over at the offensive staff, getting the play call. It'll be twin receivers on the left side. From the pistol again. Out of that mini gun, and they will go back to the ground game. Grisham lost his footing coming through. Looked like he got tangled up with Johnson, the quarterback. Falls forward, maybe got a yard, but it'll be 4th down, and the punt team will come out.
Yeah, not a great way to start the second half. Luck at this team with a multiple score lead, able to allow for a little bit of leeway there, but you want to try and take advantage of every opportunity you get, and this wasn't the start they were hoping for.
Punt team comes out with Tanner Philpott, averaging 39.6 yards per punt coming in, the left-footed kicker. 2 returners now back for Johnston. Short punt, fair catch called for, and it is grabbed by Rex Woodley at the 47-yard line. And, well, another part of the first half that was interesting, Tyler, is the field position game. The field was flipped, felt like the whole night Waukee Northwest way, and at least the start of the second half here, that's going to change.
Yeah, that has been one thing that's really noteworthy about Philpott is that in all the times we've seen him punt here at home, I don't think we've seen a single one that has hit the ground and taken a backwards bounce. I don't know if it's the way he kicks or his approach, whatever the case might be, but every time it hits the ground, it bounces in Northwest's favor.
Here comes the offense led by Will Nuss. Stop route on the outside, and that is complete to Jacob Simpson. Just a simple pitching catch, a pickup of 10 and a 1st down. That's a start certainly Johnston wanted there. They're going to hustle up to the line again. 3rd catch of the night for Jacob Simpson for 53 yards. They've driven deep into Waukee Northwest territory a couple of times. Missed a 30-yard field goal, and then we're stopped on 4th and 1 on the second to last play of the first half. From the Waukee Northwest 43-yard line. Going to hand it off. Blake Tubbs trying to find some running room, but nothing there. Cut in, and that was coming in from his linebacker spot, Adam Gardner.
And this defense is mentioned one thing, that they are going to make it tough to run on him, especially with Johnston not a strong rushing team. And that is one of the reasons that they've had to go to the air so much. And, 28 passes in the first half for a high school, for any level of player, is crazy, especially coming for a high school sophomore.
2nd and 10. They'll swing it out on the right side, looking for Tubbs, incomplete. throw was just a little bit high. Now we got some pushing and shoving afterwards. The referee comes in, separating a couple of linemen.
I wonder what you think as a referee when you were surrounded by actual children and they make you look tiny.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm used to it. Towering over me every single time I see these guys. There are some big dudes out there. 3rd down and 10 with 9:34 left in the third quarter. Johnston with the football, going right to left. Twin receivers each side for Nuss. Throws it to Simpson. He goes up high, gets another catch, breaks through a tackle, and he's got another first down.
And then a play like that, there's almost nothing Northwest can do about it. If you just do a little go route or a comeback route against this zone defense, and he's just going to stand there and throw it up high where he's the only one that's going to catch it, there's really nothing that a defender's going to be able to do to go up and stop that play.
Simpson, 6'5", 220, and no, not a tight end. He is a wide receiver in this Johnston offense. Looks that way, now rolls back to the right. Nuss going to take a shot into the end zone. He's got a man out there. Incomplete. Just past the outstretched arms of Taden Fox. He had him for 6.
Yeah, just a little too much underneath that, and not much wind here tonight. So I don't really know what caused this. Has had time in the pocket, rolled out, and just couldn't deliver the right strike. Had him right in between 2 defenders.
Or it was a little bit slow getting over from his safety spot, but a pass that sailed just too much. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 32. Nuss wants to run, and he falls forward to the 30-yard line and pick up a 2.
And Nuss, not a guy that likes to take off and run with the ball a lot. Has had a couple of successful runs this year, but overall, he's just going to try and get a couple yards and go down to make sure he doesn't get injured.
Clock rolls inside of 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Johnston facing 3rd down and 8 from the Waukee Northwest 30-yard line. Northwest a 14-0 lead.
And I'd expect they would probably go for it if they're unable to pick up the yardage.
3rd and 8, Nuss to throw to the left. Gonna go up, going to the end zone again, looking for Simpson, incomplete. That one, Simpson, looked like maybe his step just got thrown off a little bit by the D.
Yeah, and I think he kind of turned to look for the ball a little too early and cut off his route as well, so unable to get the full reach that he was going to be able to haul that one in more than likely, just a little bit over the top.
It'll be 4th down and 8, and you're right, Tyler. They are going to keep the offense on the field. And looking over at the sideline from the 30-yard line, need to get to the 22 for a first down.
4th down, 8 yards to go for the Dragons.
That's the quarterback. He is 2 of 5 here in this drive. Out of the gun, looking right, pressure comes, and he is sacked by the D of Waukee Northwest, and another 4th down stop for the Wolves. Eli Moses was in there. Hunter Smith was in there. A sack and a stop for Waukee Northwest.
And if you watch on here, Cale Winter gets great penetration up front through the double team, and he is the first thing that Nuss sees, forces him to bring the ball down, and that delay allows Smith and Moses to get in there. But Cale Winter playing like a man possessed on that play through the double team.
I love to see that, and this defense has played at a high level all night long, and another 4th down stop for Waukee Northwest. They'll get the football back in a 14-point lead with 8:33 left in the third quarter. Out of the pistol formation, they'll go to the ground game. This is Grisham as he is spun down right at the line of scrimmage. Up on the tackle is Matthew Trullinger.
And I think that would have been a good play to see Johnston possibly pull that one back in and try and take off around the other side of the field as the defense was really focused in, and that's one of the reasons you saw Grisham get upended right at the line.
It will be 2nd and 10, no gain on the play for the Wolves. Brady Grisham, 12 carries, 50 yards in the first half. Sam Johnson, 11 carries for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Here's 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers for Johnson from the shotgun. They're going to go with the counter play to Grisham, but the defense was not fooled there. Coming up and making the play, Tay Proctor out of his cornerback spot.
I really think that Johnson is just trying to send as many people after Grisham and Johnson as possible. And it's like, you know what, if you get beat over the top, you get beat over the top. But Northwest has really struggled to show any sense of consistency in the passing game this year to show they can beat you over the top.
3rd down and 9, just a yard on the carry for Grisham.
Interesting to see them take Shafus off of the field here, one of your best wide receivers.
Leads the team with 5 receptions, 58 yards on the season coming in, and one of the 2 touchdown grabs of the season. 3rd and 9, as they'll roll to the right with Johnson. He sets up the run, breaks through a tackle, but not a second. Another big lick by this secondary from Johnston, coming in that time on the tackle. That was Jack Shahota, 5'7", 160, and he brought the walloping.
And it looks like they are actually going to move the chains. I thought he was stopped a couple yards short.
Yeah.
But they will give him forward progress to move the ball. But a great sidestep on the juke move by Johnson. Really got those extra couple of yards they needed.
Johnson, another carry for him. And his first carry of the second half gets the necessary yardage. 1st down, Waukee Northwest. They'll hand it to Grisham, sidesteps the first defender, through a second, and forward into Johnston territory to the 48-yard line, a pickup of 4.
And Trollinger, a great job there. He got sidestepped, but kept an arm out just enough to trip up Grisham. Otherwise, he was probably going to pick up another 6-7 yards and maybe even another first.
Relying heavily on the ground game as we approach the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. Waukee Northwest playing ball control, leading 14-0 over the 2-1 Johnston Dragons.
It's crazy to think that your quarterback is 2 for 3 on the day for 6 yards, all to his running back, and you're up 14-0.
The lines have been good on both sides. They'll go back to the zone read, give it to Grisham, the running back. On the left side, he gets forward for a pickup of 2. 3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line. That's Johnston defense, too. They've been on the field a bunch here. And with that passing game, that leads to incompletions and not as much time to rest over on the sidelines for this Johnston D.
Yeah, now you look at this offense, you're probably going to see Johnson probably roll out again here, maybe another read option play.
On 3rd down and 4 from the Johnston 46. Johnson's going to keep it left side. He is hit for a loss. Not buying what they were selling there. And Aiden George with the tackle for loss.
And that was another just great open field play. George, the only defender on that side of the field. He had slowed him up enough that on the first grab that the defense probably would have been able to recover, but him able to drag Johnson down really was a big stop on that play.
It'll be 4th down, and the punt team will come out again. Tanner Philpott will try to pin Johnston deep, and saw this a little bit earlier. Johnston going the 2 punt returners now back deep with Woodley on the backside. He is joined back there by Tatum Fox. There's a left-footed punt. Bounces and takes another Waukee Northwest bounce. A flag comes in late from the near side of the field as they blow it dead at the 19-yard line, but we will check on that flag.
I'll say that was a pretty good throw by that ref. That might have been one of the best passes we've seen all night.
He chucked one out there, and now we'll see what it was for. Normally you see one of those come in. It's a block in the back, holding, something of that like. We'll go down to the referee tonight, Brad Bunting.
Holding, return team, number 5. Left homing force, half the distance, and then the kick. 1st down, Johnston.
It's not too often you see a holding call on a play with no return.
Yeah, exactly. And one that was punted like that, kind of that line drive that hits early. You're exactly right. And what's already been a difficult night for the Johnston offense becomes that much more difficult as they're going to walk things all the way back inside the 15-yard line. I believe it should go back to just inside the 10. And now, yeah, it looks like they got it right. And they're going to spot it down just outside the 9-yard line. But Johnston, a long way to go, down by 14, 4:26 left in the 3rd quarter. Will Nuss. And before the snap, whistle, and flags come out, and it'll be a legal procedure against the Dragons. So they're making it even more difficult against themselves.
Yeah, rough position is going to get even harder. So it's going to move you back inside your own 5.
Well, Coach Woodley is going to have a lot to talk to with his group after this one. A frustrating night for the Dragons. Brian Woodley, the longtime coach for the Johnston Dragons. And it'll be first down and 15 from inside the 5 for Johnston on the road after scoring 44 a week ago against DCG, 24 the week before against Urbandale. Scoreless tonight. Ball, fight for the football. Who's going to come up with it? They're going to say it's a complete pass down there. Two guys battling, and it comes into the hands of the Johnston Dragon wide receiver, Tatum Fox.
Yeah, and that's a big break there for Johnston. The turnover here would be absolutely disastrous. Great penetration once again up front by Eli Moses in this D-line.
Over 5 yards to go.
Pickup of 10 on the play for Fox, his 4th catch of the night. He's got 94 yards. Pitch and catch out to Simpson. That's complete for a first down. A pickup of 9 on that play. Well, that pass has been there plenty. Nuss has just misfired at times here tonight, but maybe finding a groove in the second half.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm very surprised. You know, they've had a couple of deep completions downfield, but having this out route available every time, and we haven't seen the check down nearly as often as we probably should have from Nuss.
4 of 70 for 70 yards in the second half. They'll swing it out wide, complete to the back, and falls forward after a pickup of 8 to Blake Tubbs.
Out of the backfield.
I got to say, I feel that at least 70 or 80 yards for Nuss tonight have come on those out routes that we've seen for Simpson and just the wheel route out of the backfield.
Nuss starting to warm up after starting 11 to 28 in the first half. Second down and a yard after the pickup of 9. Another short completion, and that is good for a first down, complete to Jacob Simpson. I'll just keep it as simple here, and if you're Waukee Northwest, when do you take that chance? When do you start to jump some of these routes?
Yeah, and that's one of the nice parts, though, is that when you've got a tight end or a wide receiver this tall, you see someone about to jump it, you throw it up a little bit higher.
He's got the size, 6'5", wide receiver. Jacob Simpson, 220 pounds, just a junior. Looks like the frame that could turn himself into a nice tight end, maybe in Iowa City or Ames. Hand off to Tubbs as he skips forward after a pickup of 2.
The crazy part, only a junior this year, so there's a chance he's maybe not done growing quite yet.
Second down and 8 for Johnston. 2:48 left in the third quarter. Still 14-0 our score. Waukee Northwest on the feet of 2 Sam Johnson running touchdowns has the lead. Nuss to throw, looks out to the right, and they jump the route that time, and it's incomplete. Well, waiting for the time, and Grant Mackey said the time was now, but you're right, the throw was high, keeping it away from that defender.
Yeah, and a little too tall there for Simpson, even with his monster frame, to be able to go up and get, but overall, this has been a pretty balanced attack with those 2 routes, and we'll see now where they try to go if that route is no longer available.
Third down and 8, need to get to midfield for a first down. Nuss shotgun snap. Looks to the right, steps up in the pocket. He is crunched down and sacked. Adam Gardner with the sack, and another big stop for Waukee Northwest.
Yeah, that's a huge play to get this team off the field after picking up a couple of first downs, and this defense holding once again.
The punt unit will have to come out again for Johnston. It has been a busy night so far for Will Safras. Came in averaging 32.7 per punt. And with less than 2 minutes left, he'll put the boot to it again. This one with some pressure. Grabbed at the 23-yard line. Looking to get wide. Stiff arm through 1 tackle, but not the second group of defenders coming in as they take down Owen Klunder. After a short gain on the punt return, Waukee Northwest gets the football back with 1:44 left in the third.
And what felt like a really long first half, the second quarter, it's felt like it has blown by because both teams have moved the ball a little bit, but nothing's sustained and no scoring drives yet.
Well, we have seen a lot of runs. Just 3 pass attempts for Waukee Northwest. When do they take that shot? When do they go play action, try to find something up the field? Because the Johnston defense, they've been crashing downhill a lot more. They're going to jump over, and they're going to go to the Wildcat look, and it'll be Grisham that'll keep it. So they shifted over there. Sam Johnston, normally as the quarterback under center, he shifted over. Grisham took the snap, faked it back to Johnston, and then goes forward for a pickup of 2.
Yeah, and to answer your question, I think it's going to be as soon as these wide receivers get an opportunity to actually create some separation.
Yeah.
Johnston, a kid that can throw the ball a mile. Not necessarily the most accurate on downfield attacks, but you're going to have to give the opportunity to at least air it out a little bit.
As the clock will tick inside of a minute left here on this snap. On 2nd down and 8. Out of the pistol, 3 wide receivers and a handoff. Grisham, he's got a nice hole. Spinning forward, going to be just shy of the first down sticks, but a pickup of 7 for Brady Grisham, his longest carry of the second half.
And now an opportunity on 3rd and short. Now you can open it up a little bit for some different play calls. Do you go to a potential outside run, or do you try to go right back up the middle with your bread and butter with Brady Grisham?
3rd and a yard.
And they brought in a little bit more beef up front here for potential opportunity up the middle.
And they're going to go under center this time with Johnston. He's got 2 fullbacks behind him. They're going to hand it to Grisham. He falls forward, still pushing, comes out of the pile, and is just ankle tackled after a first down run. Boy, if we don't see Kerber there, that's 6.
Oh, he's absolutely gone on that play. And I thought he was on the ground. I was looking to see where the ball was going to be spotted. Then all of a sudden he pops out.
Spun through and gets the first down as we get another look here on CISN TV. That shows you the hard running of Brady Grisham. And look at that power as he spun out of the tackle, and there was nobody behind him. As the quarter comes to a close, Waukee Northwest a 14-0 lead over Johnston. We'll come back. The 4th quarter is next on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
On 96.9 The Bull, let's go out to the field for the play-by-play. Here's Trent Condon.
Alongside Tyler French, glad to have you aboard with us here tonight. Waukee Northwest looking to pick up their first win of the year as we go to the 4th quarter. They lead at 14-0 and a first down run with the football at their own 44-yard line. 12 minutes on the clock, and this ground game has been outstanding tonight. It'll be Johnson on the keeper on the zone read. He is hit in the backfield. It'll be a loss on the play. Kerber there amongst others for the Dragons, 2nd down and long.
And Trillinger was actually kicking himself on that one because he would have had him for a couple yards further backfield, but only a loss of 2 overall in the play as Kerber able to clean up on that.
2nd down and 12 after that loss of 2. Waukee Northwest, 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half from their quarterback, Sam Johnston. A 59-yarder and a 5-yarder as he has gone over 100 yards here tonight. 2nd and 12. And there's the pass play, setting up play action. Looking. Johnston now wants to run. Rips through a tackle, and he is hit out of bounds. Late hit out of bounds. And it'll be a first down after the penalty. Second flag comes in now. Afterwards, as it looked like maybe a wide receiver for Waukee Northwest was saying something, and the official threw a second flag. So it'll be a late hit out of bounds after the run out to the 49-yard line.
I don't think that was the second flag. I think they were just tossing it back into the field of play.
Gotcha.
I've seen that a couple times that they want to throw it closer to where the play actually happened.
It makes sense certainly there as the officiating crew talking through this one. I want to make sure of it. An important play, an important call. And the late hit out of bounds by Jamars Freeman. Looks like it's going to give Waukee Northwest a first down, and they would love to just be able to eat up some clock here, leading by 2 scores, 14-0. Brad Bunting, the referee, and his crew talking through things. Brad Bunting's crew, they have been at the Unidome multiple times throughout the years, one of the more highly regarded officiating crews here in the state. And now it looks like he's out maybe talking to the captain, so we'll see if this is going to be as cut and dry as just a simple personal foul, late hit out of bounds.
On the play,
Oh.
one on each team.
Guess there was a second flag.
Play, dead ball, late hit, out of bounds, number 99. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike, Waukee Northwest, number 2. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. This is number 2's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
So they get Jackson Adams. Yeah, that's what I thought. He had said something to somebody, but the ref was right next to him. Might have been one of those key words, if you will. As we look at the replay here, seeing Johnston roll out of the pocket, able to pick up 7 on the play. There's the late hit out of bounds. And then you'll see right up the top of your screen, that is where Adams said something to an opposing player, and that got the personal foul. Will be a first down, though, as they mark off the first penalty, then come back 15 the other way. It'll be back to Grisham. He gets to the outside, 45-40. First down, knocked out of bounds, past the 35-yard line. Tyler mentioned this earlier. This Johnston defense, they have been on the field so much. This has been a physical game.
Yeah, and when you've got a running back like Brady Grisham, and you're going to start chipping away at that morale, you're going to start chipping away at that stamina, that strength. Eventually, he's going to start to get loose. And this is one of the first times all season he's actually had the opportunity with Northwest now with the lead.
This is the kind of game that Coach Kapatich and company, they want to set up a ball-controlled, physical style. And leading 14-0. They'll go back to the ground game, hit in the backfield this time. Grisham's going to lose yards. Hit first by Aiden George. It'll be second down and long.
That's the second time this couple of drives that Aiden George has made a really big play in the defensive backfield. The problem is that it has not come consistently for the rest of the defense to be able to stop this rushing attack.
We'll definitely need to get another first down realistically to have a good field goal chance here for Waukee Northwest. Second down and 13 after the loss of 3. And letting the play clock go down. A surprise over at Southeast Polk as Ankeny has walked in and they lead 31-14. Johnson's going to roll out here, looking up the field. One-on-one coverage, coming down with the football. Big play as he finds Grant Carter inside the 5-yard line.
One of the best passes that Johnston has thrown all season in a big opportunity to potentially put this game out of reach.
31-yard completion to Carter. And first and goal after that catch.
And a beautiful catch by Carter, going up to high point the ball and be able to come down with it over the defender.
How about that? First catch of the year for senior Grant Carter. What a big time for that. Full house backfield now for Waukee Northwest. They'll pitch it out to Grisham. Grisham tries to bounce it outside, but he is hit for a loss of 5 on the play. Great penetration and the tackle for Matthew Trollinger.
It feels like it has been Trollinger and Kerber all night defensively with a couple of big plays from George here and there. But those 3 have been able to keep Johnston in this game on the defensive side.
You got to figure here, a field goal even will make this a 3-possession game. So you have the pitch play there. Don't want to get too tricky, right? And even if necessary, you want to middle this thing if that's where your field goal kicker likes it. I think you're thinking rarity, but you're thinking more 3 than 6 here if it gets to that. They're going to set up a quarterback power up the middle, breaking through a tackle. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest. Sam Johnson, for the 3rd time tonight, finds the end zone. 20-0 Wolves.
third touchdown of the game, and every single one of them has come on a different design play. First one, a design QB run to the outside where he was able to squirt free and go in for 59 yards out. The next one, a great read option. And this one, just a QB draw right up the middle. Defense did not see it coming, and a huge hole right in the middle of the defense.
What a great design and a score again. Sam Johnston putting this team on his back and leading them in well over 100 yards rushing tonight, 3 touchdowns, and a 20-0 lead with 9:02 left in the fourth quarter. Some late substitutions coming out onto the field. Looked like the referee was over talking things over. A question over on the Johnston sideline. As we are back ready to go. Lining up the PAT attempt, it'll be Jack Gerhardt, who is perfect this season, 8 for 8. Nice kick with plenty of leg, good as well. Make it 9 for 9, make it 21-0. Waukee Northwest leading over Johnston, 9:02 to play. We come back on 96.9 The Bull and CISN TV. Global Direct Mail.
Off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Video streaming on CISN TV. Trent Condon, Tyler French back with you. 21-0. Waukee Northwest with the lead over Johnston. Kickoff going to be grabbed at the 1-yard line. First chance to return at a big hole up the left side. Cutting back to the 40. Midfield and finally tackled down by Tanner Philpott. How about that? The kicker gets a tackle.
Yeah, and a big thing there is that is possibly what Johnston needs to try and build at least a little bit of momentum on their side.
Johnston looking for anything to get things going, and a big kick return certainly is going to help out that as Tatum Fox brings it all the way back 49 yards to the 50. But how about the stick by Philpott, the kicker?
Yeah, it's not too often that, your punter or kicker gets an opportunity, especially with the way Philpott punts, and a lot of people don't get good returns on him. But at the same time, as a kicker, you don't necessarily want to get the big hit because that means you gave up a big return. I will say, that's been one of the nice things for the Kansas City Chiefs, having Justin Reed potential. Yeah. That's another tackler out there for you, your starting safety.
Yeah, with Harrison Butker out with the injury, and your Chiefs got it done last night. And taking a shot right away up the field, looking for Simpson, complete. Out past the 30-yard line, a pickup of 25 yards on first down, and again, it's Jacob Simpson.
Simpson is going to make some college program very happy. This looks so effortless for him to go up, make a move on the defender, and haul this one in.
First down and 10 at the 25, 8:48 left to play in the fourth quarter. Down by 3 scores. Johnston needs to score and needs to score quickly. As they'll put a man in motion across the formation. That's Woodley. And pressure comes. Nuss able to step through it. And he is going to be hit. Trying to fight forward, but he is sacked for a couple yard loss over there on the tackle. Chase Lamb on the first hit.
Hunter Smith, number 9.
And Nuss, he has not been able to be very comfortable back there tonight, as the pressure has been plentiful from this Waukee Northwest squad.
One thing I highlighted coming into this game is a huge strength in Northwest is this front 7.
Second down and 12 from the 27. Flip it out, and it is complete. 25-20, down to the 17-yard line on the completion to Tay Proctor. Proctor with the grab, and just his second catch of the season, he picks up 10.
Third down,
See
2 yards to
Tate
go.
playing a lot defensively out there and getting a shot with the offense. 4-receiver look. Nuss looking out to the right, across the middle's got a man out there, complete. Touchdown, Johnston. Touchdown, Dragons. The completion to Rex Woodley with 7:46 to play. The Dragons hit pay dirt.
And that was a great opportunity there as Woodley was able to get past the line of defense. And if he'd looked the other side, he had Proctor breaking open as well. There's a breakdown defensively there for Northwest as Johnston tries to get back into this game.
On to attempt the extra point. It will be Carson Hansen. Hold down, kick on its way, and that one pounded through. 21-7. Don't go anywhere. We still got plenty more here. High school football continues on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming CISN TV.
For all 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Johnston finds the end zone for the first time tonight. A 17-yard touchdown pass from Will Nuss to Rex Woodley. And the Dragons, after getting the short field after the nice kick return from Tatum Fox, has put themselves in business. And now, well, decision time, 7:46. You got all three of your timeouts. Haven't seen much in the passing game, so you can certainly start crashing in here. And we're going to get a timeout by Waukee Northwest.
Interesting there on a kickoff, but this game far from over. And you and I were talking a little bit off air that with Northwest, there's any point that if they take the run away, Northwest has got to find a way to push the ball downfield through the air. A couple stops, and you're right back in this thing.
In the second half, Will Nuss now 10 of 13. He has been sharp after struggling at times in the first half. As the Johnston passing attack caught fire there. And 3 big grabs, 3 for 3. It was a quick scoring drive. 7:46 left, and I think Waukee Northwest there just wanted to see what they were doing and wanted to make sure that they were set up in case there was an onside kick, a squib kick, something like that, and just had to be ready and talking to those guys up front.
It looks like they are going to adjust the kick return unit.
Well, this is also dangerous, though, at the high school level is, those kind of short little pooch kicks, they just pop up behind that initial line. That is a live football. Just one offensive player back there, and they're going to move him up just a little bit. That'll be Grant Carter.
That is something we actually saw against Northwest for Dowling a couple weeks ago, that they scored a touchdown with about 43 seconds left in the half. Just squib kicked it, got past and bounced around a little bit. They recovered it and scored another touchdown right before halftime to really take control of that game.
And here is the kick, and they will fling it in the air out of the 20-yard line. Chance to return for Carter up the right side. He is upended at the 40, but a great return of 20 yards. Great field position for Waukee Northwest.
Yeah, and I think that if you're Northwest, if you can chew 2-3 minutes off the clock, maybe get even just one first down, that's going to be a win on this drive for you.
Oh, absolutely. I think we know what they're going to do. It's going to be the ground game, and it has been a heavy dose here tonight of the quarterback, Sam Johnson on the ground, and Brady Grisham, as they have done a bulk of the work out there. They'll start 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line back to that standard pistol look. It's Grisham on the carry. He is upended and knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, Jaron Klon.
Tackle made by Proctor.
And I think even if you do go to the pass game, you want to try and keep it short. Even almost what turns into an extended handoff. Try to get someone like Carter or Shafos just an extended out into the outside and see if you can make someone miss on the outside and get a first down.
2nd and 10 as the clock approaches the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Waukee Northwest with the football. They lead it 21-7. Back to the pistol look, 2 receivers left. Grisham back behind the quarterback Johnston. Zone read, Johnston's going to keep it himself, trying to swing it wide. Defense is waiting for him out there. Cuts back, and he is spun down after a loss of 2. A great heads-up defense there. They knew he wasn't going to go to the sideline there. You press him where the help was, gets the tackle. Good work again by Jacob Johnny.
Yeah, you really seal the outside, force him back to the middle where you've got some help defense. And, you know, it's just like in basketball. You want to take away a avenue and force them back to where you've got some help along the side there with you.
It'll be 3rd down and 12 as the clock continues to roll. Now, we've seen Johnston has not elected to use any timeouts. Down by 2 scores, though. Still important. No, they got to get a stop here, get a score, and then get another stop. Ball's fumbled, and it was loose a couple of times. Grisham falls on it. But a near disaster for Waukee Northwest. Wow.
And that's exactly what you can't have happen is a turnover this close to your own side of the field.
So the punt unit will come out from their own 37-yard line. The snap was right there, and it just popped out of the hands of Sam Johnston.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest possession here on the 3 and out, but Northwest able to chew up what'll probably end up being about 2.5 minutes off the clock.
Play clock at 15 as they can bring it down inside of 5:25 left. Philpott, who had the big tackle a moment ago on a kickoff, he spirals a beauty. That hits at the 23, takes a Waukee Northwest bounce. That thing inside the 10, inside the 5. What a play by the punter, Tanner Philpott. That's not very often. We got a punter that's in consideration for our hard hat player of the game.
I've been telling people all season of this, if Tanner Philpott ended up getting all-state honors, I would not be surprised. This kid has been amazing in his first year in the starting unit.
A 59-yard punt inside the 5-yard line. Tanner Philpott. Boy, what a performance from him, and is going to back this team all the way back to their 4-yard line. Johnston down 21-7, 5:18 to play. Dragons do have all 3 of their timeouts at their disposal, as it'll be Will Nuss in the offense coming out. They're going to roll him out to his left, looking out. Ball tipped, nearly intercepted, incomplete.
Harry Lynan getting his hand on another one. Just seems to have a knack for being able to be in the right spot at the right time to knock passes down.
Rolled out there. Always a difficult throw for the quarterback, rolling out as a right-hander out to your left side, and you're right, he was right there as they were trying to find Proctor.
And Northwest, that's a better bounce. That's potentially a game-sealing pick.
Instead, 2nd and 10 from the 4. Nuss going to take a shot up to Simpson. Simpson comes down with it. Maybe got away with a little bit of a push off there, but it'll be a first down Dragons.
And just a beautiful pass. If you put that out front, it gets knocked down, throws it that back shoulder, and that's the only place that his receiver could catch it.
8 catches now tonight for Jacob Simpson.
And honestly, seen on the replay, wasn't much of a push-off, if anything. Plus, Mackey not looking for the ball really didn't impact the play much at all.
Pressure comes. Nuss has got to get rid of it. Rolls, still rolling. Gets outside. He is hit out there, and it'll be for a loss.
Quarterback Will Nuss scrambles.
While the pressure was coming on the backside and the tackle by Chase Lamb. Lamb, he's come alive in the second half.
Yeah, he's another one of these top returners for the Northwest defense. And coming into the season, 3 guys I highlighted, him, Moses, and Lynan, and all 3 of them have made some big plays in tonight's contest, just like they have all season.
Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Knocked out of bounds, so the clock stops with 4:57 to play in the fourth quarter. Johnston with the football, trailing by 14, 21-7. Trent Condon alongside Tyler French with you here on CISN TV. And on the radio side, 96.9 The Bull. Shot up the field looking for Proctor. Triple team tip, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Stotts. Stotts up the right sideline, hit out of bounds. There's the big play again for the Waukee Northwest defense. Logan Stotts with the pick.
Logan Stotts has had his fingerprints all over this game. and made a couple beautiful plays in the first half, a couple special teams plays. Now on this tip pass coming away with the interception. And it looked like there might have been a little bit of contact, but that was mostly Proctor tripping over his own feet. And now Northwest with an opportunity to really put this game away.
And it's going to be the ground game you'd anticipate again as they'll start in Johnston territory at the Dragon 38-yard line. 1st and 10, 4:44 left in regulation. Back to that standard look we've seen so much tonight. Pistol, 2 receivers on the left side, a tight end in there. Before the snap, though, it will be a false start, moving back 5 yards.
And it's going to be interesting to see when we see Johnston start taking these timeouts.
And anticipate probably is going to be right here, down 2 scores. I mean, you got to get after it right away here. You got to get it stopped and get the football back. 4:43 on the clock. As they move things back, spread it out a little bit more. Extra wide receiver comes in for Waukee Northwest. 1st and 15, high snap. Corralled and handed off to Grisham, who's drugged down after a gain of 3.
Tag away number 3, Tay Proctor.
And it looks like Johnston's going to wait to use their timeouts right now.
A little bit of a surprise there.
Northwest student section already running that I believe we have one chant.
Yeah, you got to be careful on that.
Yeah. I remember being in high school when that became a huge staple, and I think that is one of the funniest things. I've seen a school use it when they were up 3 scores with 3 minutes left. They do it, and they lost.
Oh, that is a stinger. 2nd down and 12, and a handoff to the Grisham. Running back up the left side, he's hit at the 35-yard line. A half dozen Dragons there on the tackle, and there will be that first timeout. It'll be 3rd down and long when we come back. 3:47 left to play in the 4th quarter. Waukee Northwest 21-7 lead. Back with more in a moment on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN.TV.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
.55 left 4th quarter. Waukee Northwest with the football and a 14-point lead from the 35-yard line. Quarterback power. It's Johnson. He's got the first down again. Another big 3rd down back-breaking run from Sam Johnson. This one good enough for another first down. Strong, physical. He has been so important. 3 rushing touchdowns. Another big 3rd down carry there for the first down. Johnson going to use their 2nd timeout. We will keep it right here. Tyler French, certainly that is one. You figure they're going to go to the ground game. We've seen Johnson so many times, and yet went with that quarterback power counter type of play, and the hole opened up again.
Yeah, and I think it's just the case. This defense is gassed tonight. I would love to see time of possession in this one because we've seen Johnston. They've gone out. They'll throw the ball 6 times in a row, get 1 or 2 first downs, and then go 3 and out after that.
Right. It has been that kind of night here. Waukee Northwest trying to pick up their first win of the season. They opened it up with as difficult of a schedule as you're going to find. Valley in week 1, lost 17-7 there. Dowling Catholic in week 2. The Maroons won at 45-19, and then a week ago doubled up by Southeast Polk 42-21. Johnston came in, certainly I think as the favorite in many people's minds, but it's been this ground game for the Wolves that have definitely been the difference.
Yeah, and that's one of the nice things about high school football is that even when you've got a game that might be heavily favored one way, there are times that someone will come out, make a couple big plays like we've seen this Northwest defense do and Sam Johnson do tonight for this Wolves team.
3:45 left to go, fourth quarter after the timeout. 1st and 10, Waukee Northwest. They're going to keep it with Johnson again. He's got another nice hole up the right side, past the 20-yard line, and a pickup of 9 for Sam Johnson. And Johnston will use their final timeout. Back with more in a moment. 3:35 left to play, fourth quarter. Northwest 21-7 over the Johnston Dragons.
The chicken.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Trent Kahn and Tyler French with you. Glad to have you aboard with us. It is 2nd down and short, and they're just going to push the pile forward with the quarterback, Sam Johnson. Powerful run once again. The offensive line. Hey, credit to the big boys up front for Waukee Northwest. They've been opening up those holes.
Yeah, that's been a huge thing for this team in this game is they've really held up protection-wise. And usually you say that about your passing attack, but you have had excellent opportunities with Sam Johnson able to step back, make a decision on these read options, and just get to the outside or hand it off for this offensive attack consistently all game long.
Clock is going to go inside of 3 minutes here before the next snap. 5 on the play clock. And they will go to the ground game as it is Grisham. He is hit at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for a gain of 1. Brady Grisham, he has been one of the 2 backs here tonight. It's been the quarterback, Sam Johnson, along with Grisham, and a lot of hard-earned yards out of both these guys.
Yeah, and now at this point, Johnson unable to stop the ball. The crowd has really been filing out here in the last couple of minutes, and Northwest is likely, barring a huge mishap here on a fumble or something like that, going to pick up their first win of the season here at home.
Play clock down to 10 with 2:22 left in the fourth quarter. Waukee Northwest with the football at the 11-yard line, 2nd down and 9. They're going to set up a run for Johnson. He cuts back and falls into a pile of Dragon defenders. So we'll go inside of 2 minutes here. It'll be 3rd down and long. You know, in a decision that you do wonder about, if you don't get the first down, do you set up a field goal just knowing that, you know, long snapper, holder at the high school level, field goal kick. You know, funky things can happen there. College, pro football, absolutely. It's an automatic take the field goal here. You do wonder if that's at least going through the mind of Coach Kopatich right now.
You know, honestly, I think that you do try for the field goal because even if there is a false snap, it's about the same as you not getting it on 4th down. And if you miss the kick, it comes out to the 20. So it's not a huge deal either way.
Grisham gets the carry on 3rd down, gets to the 9-yard line, a pickup of 3. And here will come that decision for Corey Kopatich, the 2nd-year head coach for Waukee Northwest. Right in the middle of the field, so they set it up beautifully if they decide to kick that field goal. Clock will go inside of a minute here. And I would guess Waukee Northwest probably going to use a timeout right when it gets down to 1. In fact, yeah, see Coach out there right now. He's right next to the official. He's going to wait till it gets down to a second, use a timeout, and then they'll make their decision from there. That'll tick it down to We'll see officially where we get 44 seconds on the clock. 4th down and 7. As the offense trops over and talks things over. Waukee Northwest, this is certainly, if they hold this one, this is a shot in the arm that they needed. Talked about the 0-3 start. Johnston, it looked like they had really found something with Will Nuss, and he's had his moments tonight, but probably the first time that he has faced big-time adversity as a quarterback here at the varsity level. Played so well in those first 2 games against DCG and before it against Urbandale in the victories. Back to the drawing board with the sophomore.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they will 100% stick with Nuss moving forward, because he still had some brilliant moments, made some great throws here tonight, but overall his decision-making hasn't been flawless here tonight, to say the very least. And overall, does Adrian Broaddus have a good week of practice and make it at least a conversation heading into next week's game?
Conversation continues over on the sideline here during the timeout. Mentioned some of the scores from around the area. Ankeny did hold on for the victory. I believe 31-14 was the final there. Ankeny Centennial with the win over Cedar Falls as they double up the Tigers 28-14. Waukee Northwest is going to keep the offense on the field here for this 4th down play. 4th and 7 from the 9-yard line. Leading 21-7. As Sam Johnson will take the shotgun snap. Throws it into the end zone. Had a man out there, but incomplete. The pressure was enough to have the pass go wide. Aiden George was over there again. Dowling Catholic all over Iowa City. City High 27-0 with 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter there.
Really shows of how quick pace this second half has been for us when they're still halfway through the 3rd quarter.
That was a 7:30 start out there. A little bit of surprise. You think City High would want to get home at a decent time. They got a 2-hour drive still in front of them. But they started that one a little bit later here. 39 seconds showing on the clock. Waukee Northwest trying to polish off their first win, leading 21-7.
Also a really
They'll
cool
start
thing.
From the 7.
Caitlin Clark honored tonight at halftime of the Dowling game.
And Nuss going to go up the field. He's got a man out there complete out past the 40-yard line. Big play again to Woodley. He has been a big play receiver, and he comes up with a nice one there all the way past to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 38. Woodley with his 5th catch of the night. Clock running, 25 seconds to go. Johnston's got to hurry. They'll throw a play out near the sticks and stepping out of bounds. Again, that was Woodley. And they're going to give him the first down. 10 more. So Woodley adding to his total tonight. 77 yards receiving for Rex Woodley. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. 18 seconds to play. Nuss steps up in the pockets, going to flip it out, and great hit in the open field. Blake Tubbs was hit after a gain of 3. 7 seconds left. They got to hurry back to the line if they're going to be able to get another snap off. 2-1, and that will do it. Didn't even get the final play off. Waukee Northwest gets their first win of the season. 21-7. They beat the Johnston Dragons. We'll take a timeout, come back, put a cap on things here in Waukee. The Wolves get the win, 21-7. Trent Condon, Tyler French will come back with you one final time and put a cap on things. We'll also hand out our Graphite Construction Group Hard Hat Player of the Game when we come back. High school football, the post-game show on 96.9 The Bull and video streaming on CISN.TV.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
I'm off to college.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that "oh rats" moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Trent Condon, Tyler French back with you one final time here in Waukee at Northwest High School as the Wolves get the first win of the season, 21-7. A hard-earned victory tonight as a powerful rushing attack proves to be the difference here this evening, and the win 21-7. We're going to hand out our Graphite Construction Group Hard Hat Player of the Game. Some final numbers here for you, though, and some final thoughts. Well, let's start right there as I continue to work on my mathematical formulas over here. Final thoughts from you, Tyler. You've obviously seen a ton of this Waukee Northwest team. Well, quite the victory here tonight for the Wolves.
Yeah, this was a completely different team than we saw out here against Valley and Dowling. You know, the loss to Valley, they looked, it's an inspired fight down the stretch, but you could see they were overmatched at different points during the game. Dowling had just an incredible run in the second quarter that really established that game early on. But this was the fight that we didn't see in a lot of the games for Northwest. And they came out, that touchdown run early on from Johnston on their first possession of the game, I think really helped him build some confidence today, and I think could be a turning point for him as we go forward in the season. Defensively, this team was all over this passing attack, and you're still going to have a quarterback throw for over 300 yards against them, but look at how many attempts it took for him today as he threw the ball almost 30 times in the first half. The yards per attempt, not a huge problem for Northwest. You give up nearly 350 yards, but when they're only getting 6-7 yards an attempt, that's going to be a win for you in the book as long as you're coming out on top.
Let's take a look at those final numbers here. We'll start with Johnston as they fall, and their record goes to 2-2 on the season. Sophomore quarterback Will Nuss, he finishes 24 of 47. Did throw for 347 yards, but 2 interceptions as well as the Dragons fall here tonight. His top receiver this evening was Jacob Simpson. Simpson went out there, 8 catches for 126 yards in the effort for the Dragons. Rex Woodley had 6 catches for 77 yards. Tatum Fox, 4 grabs for 94. 2 catches for 20 yards from Menson Martin. And Blake Tubbs had 2 catches for 12 yards in the ball game. On the other side, in a winning effort for the Waukee Northwest Wolves, they were led in rushing as it was Sam Johnson, the quarterback. He finishes with 20 carries for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Wolves. Also, through the air, he completes 3 of 5 passes for 37 yards. Also, Brady Grisham, he was the workhorse back. 28 carries for 93 yards for Brady Grisham, and some physical, hard runs out there. Brady Grisham also with 2 catches for 6 yards, and Carter got his first catch of the year, a 31-yarder for Waukee Northwest. It was a 14-0 lead at halftime. One more in the second half on each side. 21-7 our final here. Final thoughts from you, Tyler, before we hand out our player of the game.
This was just a huge victory for Northwest. Like I mentioned earlier, this was a different team we saw on the field today, and hope it's a turning point for both the Wolves and for Sam Johnston, and excited to see what this team has. They're going to be back at home in 2 weeks for homecoming, and then their last home game of the year for senior night. So 2 emotional nights for this program. It's just happy to see them get a win at home and not one of your last games of the season.
Yeah, 44% of the way through the high school football season. Incredible to think just how fast it goes through the 9 weeks of the regular season. Of course, the playoffs, and we got you covered here on CISN TV and 96.9 The Bull. Final score, once again, 21-7. The final, Northwest with the win over the Johnston Dragons. Time to hand out our Graphite Construction Group Hard Hat Player of the Game. And Tyler, I think we got to give it to the guy that scored 3 touchdowns. The quarterback, Sam Johnston, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 20 carries, 163 yards, and those 3 tuggies. Also went 3 for 5 through the air. He is our Graphite Construction Group Hard Hat Player of the Game. Final score tonight for the final time, 21-7. Waukee Northwest a winner over the Johnston Dragons. We now send it back to regular programming already in progress on 96.9 The Bull. Good night, everyone.